That was so epic.
I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-putting production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello again, everyone. Today is November the 14th, 2021, and I'm David. This is Derek. Together we're Derek, and we're here to talk about everything that's new in the world of Tesla that's happened over the past week. There's not as much news this past week as what we've had in the past. There were some major changes with the Tesla stock, as many of you might have found out. But for the most part, it is still up, so we're still happy with that. But there were some major losses for some people, because I think Elon tweeted out last week he was going to be doing his, he did a Twitter poll, and he asked everyone, should he be selling so much of his stock, and he did, and that caused the stock to drop like $180 in one day. So that was a little disappointing for some, but luckily over the past month the stock was still up like over $450 something before the 180 drop. So hopefully most of you guys were able to lock in those gains earlier on.
Yeah, so congrats to all you that made millions, and congrats to all of you that lost millions.
I wouldn't congrats to the people who lost millions, but we have our thoughts.
Yeah, you are in our thoughts and prayers. But anyway, we're gonna jump right into the news. Like David said, though, it's a pretty low-key week. besides the whole like stock.
Besides the biggest stock drop in Tesla history or whatever. But
True. Yeah, we're jump right into it, and then at the end we will kind of open it up and just like hang out with y'all. First and foremost, 2021.40.5. One of the newest updates. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet because we are on the FSD beta, and that tends to get features a little later. But that one does add waypoints.
Or at least a waypoint.
A waypoint.
Basically, people have noticed in the release notes for this version, it says add stop. And it says add a new stop to your route by tapping the plus icon on the navigation search button and searching for a destination or selecting a pin on the map. So the good news is this finally adds that waypoint feature that people have been requesting since Tesla's first came out. However, we don't know yet, does it allow you to add more than one waypoint? Maybe, maybe not. But at least the ability to add one waypoint is better than what we've had now, and I think that would probably solve it for 99% of people, because typically you just want to go to a supercharger or your destination, but you might want to make one stop along the way. So very few people are going to be needing multiple waypoints, but we don't know yet if that will be supported or not.
Yeah, definitely a feature that people have been asking for
like I said, probably 10 years.
Yeah.
At least, well, 9.
I can remember on Twitter for probably the past 6+ years, a lot of people have been very boisterous about it, and it finally came.
Yeah, and Elon was saying, you don't need waypoints because when you need a car, it's going to know where you want to go. But that's only if you have your whole schedule, in your calendar on your phone and by every, whatever. So anyways, it's nice they finally added that ability.
Definitely, I certainly agree. Next up, 2021.40, so a subgroup of, or actually 40.5 is a subgroup, but CCS adapter support? Question mark?
It's starting to show up. So basically, if you go into the software screen and
go ahead and fill them in on the whole CCS adapter.
Well, basically,
idea.
So basically, for those of you who know or don't know, Tesla has their own charging protocol, charging superchargers here in the United States and around the world. In Europe, in the past, they did have to open that up to allow they didn't open it up to all cars just yet. We've talked about that in a bit. But basically, they started using the CCS2 adapter port there in Europe. Here in the United States, they're still using the proprietary Tesla plug. And in South Korea, they have recently put a CCS adapter, which is like the standard for level 3 charging, quick charging with DC. They've opened that up, they've started selling an adapter so that Teslas can use a CCS adapter in South Korea. And people have been wondering, when is this going to be coming to North America?
Yep.
Because we could use a CCS1 adapter here in the United States, Canada, Mexico. And that would allow people to use other fast chargers, not superchargers, such as the Electrify America network. But there's other networks out there too, especially up in Canada, that would allow you to use other chargers besides Tesla's chargers. And so people have noticed in this 21.40 release that if you go to the software screen and look at the additional information for a vehicle, there's a line there and it indicates whether or not that vehicle can support it. So we believe
I thought I was on the screen. My bad.
So we believe that this is a hardware thing, because some older cars, such as the 2018 cars, don't say that it's installed, but newer vehicles, it looks like, do say it. So if you can point out, which one is this then?
So this is the one that says not installed, and then this one says the CC adapter support enabled. So almost like maybe it's hardware and software thing.
Yeah, it would definitely be a combination of the two. Just you would need both in order for it to work. But the cool thing is, in Europe, when they did switch over to CCS there, they did make a kit available for retrofit, so that people who had older vehicles, they didn't have the 3 out yet. So when the 3 came out in Europe, it's always had that support. But older S's and X's that were older than that needed to have an update. And basically, they came out with a retrofit kit you can get installed if you have an older vehicle, and then you can also use an adapter. And there'll be the same thing in the United States, where Tesla will have a retrofit kit. They'll be able to add it, should be able to add it to any Tesla that's been made that doesn't have that support yet. And then you'll be able to use the adapter and use those CCS charging stations if you so desire. And newer cars, as we said, it looks like some of them might already have that hardware. We do know that newer vehicles in Europe already have it. The 3 and Y have always had it in Europe. But it looks like we're going to keep an eye on that for the Plaid, and hopefully we'll know here in the coming weeks whether or not the Plaid already has the hardware. But I would assume it does, and it just needs a software update to get that enabled. And we do have a CCS adapter expected. It's on its way. We don't know when it'll be here, but we'll definitely be testing that out once it arrives.
Yeah, real quick, Jared was asking, is there a way to check our cars to see if the CCS is supported? The best way to do so is actually click on your additional vehicle information under your software tab. And there should be a line once you get 2021.40
or newer. Yeah.
Or newer. There should be a line there that says CCS adapter support. And in this case, it says not installed. So I don't know what vehicle this is from. I assume from maybe
I think it's an older
3.
older 3, yeah, 2018, I believe.
And the new one, if you do have it, it will say CCS adapter support enabled once you can actually use that. So that is where you will find it under your additional vehicle information. Next up. So I guess we already talked about Tesla
talked a little
stock.
bit about the stock, but if you wanted to go touch it a little bit more.
Yeah. Obviously, this week was a wild ride. We have had some of the biggest gains in Tesla.
Stock history, yep.
As well as some of the biggest losses and fastest losses. All because Elon decided to Twitter poll whether or not he should sell roughly 10% of his stake, which is equivalent to about $20 billion. That's large amount of money. And it all kind of stemmed from, I guess, billionaires not really paying their taxes. I say that with air quotes. So it kind of all came from that. And so he actually Twitter polled that, which I tweeted about it. I thought that was kind of stupid to rely on Twitter. But once we actually started seeing the paperwork roll out of his sales, it kind of became known that some of those sales happened before he tweeted that out. But I've lost track of how many documents have come out at this point. Last I checked, I think it was 10 or 11. And yeah, see, Diego just pointed it out too. Some of the filing forms were dated September 14th, which is
wow, that's way back, months ago.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of stupid, because it's he already knew what he was going to do, but by doing the poll, it's it gives a little heads up. Maybe that's a way that he can get around, the SEC or whatever rules saying that you're not allowed to say this.
Well, he's also supposed to be on a short leash. From some of his previous tweets.
It's just weird, too, because the week before that, we had talked about the Hertz deal and how he tweeted how, we don't have a signed contract. He was trying to get the price to go down or something. It's every time the stock does really well, he has to say, it's not worth that much, or we don't have a contract, or I'm going to dump 10% of my stock. And it's don't do that, because he's helping a lot of people who aren't billionaires make some money, but then by sending out these tweets, he's causing a lot of people to lose that same money.
Agreed. And now, again, not investment advice. Obviously, we are heavily invested in Tesla, as well as some other EV manufacturers and stuff like that. But I'm not necessarily worried in the short term, because I'm not planning on selling. But anyone who was getting ready to sell or something, that kind of sucks. Definitely, I would hold out for a little while. Now, in the long term, I don't foresee this being any issue. And we've kind of seen it balance out maybe a little bit. But he's only sold, I think the filing forms have only recorded 3 or 6 billion worth.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. So there's still probably a lot more to come. So strap in. But hopefully it doesn't fall below 1,000 or much below 1,000. And hopefully he can just kind of do the paperwork. But I guess, like you said, though, it is kind of nice that he did kind of throw that out there. If people wanted to sell.
A bit of a warning there, yeah.
Yeah, but really kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. So, but about our Autopilot 2 vehicle, I know there's been a lot of questions on that regarding full self-driving.
And how Elon had tweeted out that
it requires an update.
Those are cars that were originally built between October 2016 and say August of 2017 didn't have the proper cameras. And Elon, when they talked about the full self-driving beta coming out, and these cars were allowed to sign up, but then we noticed none of these cars actually got the beta. And so a lot of people were tweeting Elon. He replied again on Twitter saying, yeah, those cars are going to be needing an upgrade. We talked about this a few weeks back, where people were trying to contact their service center, get that upgrade installed, and the service centers were canceling those updates yet because they didn't know anything about it. They didn't have the hardware ready. But now that has changed over the past week. Now Tesla put up an official webpage talking about the upgrade, the retrofit for all these cars, and they've said that yes, you can start making these appointments once you get an invite. So basically people in the app are starting to see an invite, and there's still a little bit of confusion or people aren't quite sure, because some people are saying, even on the webpage, I think it says you need to be in on the FSD beta request, the safety score, but other people are saying that they got it without that. And so basically you have to wait for that invite. Once it shows up, then you can go ahead and request that upgrade and then arrange to get that taken care of, either by mobile service or at a service center.
Yeah, and some of the key takeaways from this page, which is just under tesla.com/support, and then there's obviously a lot more after that, but if you go to support, you can find it through there. It does say, when will camera replacements be available for me? It says starting in November, we will invite customers for camera replacements. Invited customers will receive a message in their Tesla app and will see an option to request camera replacements. And then here it does say they are working through supply constraints, and invitations will be staggered as supply allows and sent first to vehicles with the highest safety scores containing the Atom infotainment processors, and those containing the NVIDIA Tegra processors. So what that means for where your spot in line is, to be honest, there's a lot of things that it could vary on.
But again, it should only be cars built from October 2016 through August of 2017. So it's not a huge number of cars. And as we've told you, some people such as us have changed out some of our cameras already, but there's also a software change that needs to be made, and they need to enable it to show that you are using the newer type cameras. But they're going to basically be swapping out the triple camera in the front, the repeater cameras, and also the B-pillar cameras. And the only camera
is the rear.
The only camera they're not swapping out is the rear camera.
Got it. Okay.
And it doesn't sound like they're going to be installing an interior camera in the S or X as well. And again, this would only apply to the Model S or X.
Yep. All 3s and Ys should be all good. Next up, so we have another recall on Model S and X.
Well, the X really only had a few delivered so far, so probably not really affected.
S,
maybe,
but it is another airbag recall. Now, this isn't something that Tesla has caused. This isn't something that there has been an accident of in the field. It is something they found when they were doing some internal QC. They found a potential issue, and rather risk it, they are recalling everything from that lot.
And again, this is only new refreshed 2021 Plus S's that have been delivered since June of this year. So it's not like every car, every S or X that's ever been made. It's just newer vehicles for the past few months.
Exactly. So, I mean, most people probably won't be affected by this, but it is something that we did actually get an email about for our Plaid Model S. Now, I'm curious about the long range, which we'll get into in a minute for delivery on that. Will that need that as well? Do they have the airbag already replaced? How's that going to work?
I think that's maybe what some of the delay is, especially with the Model X, because we've seen some videos of the Model X's being lined up on Tesla's lots there in Fremont, and there's a tent. Like they're pulling them all into that tent to do some last minute change. So it would be my guess that, okay, this is why we haven't delivered all those X's yet, because you don't want to deliver it and then have a recall on it a week later. So why not swap out those cars before you deliver them and just get taken care of? So I'm hoping that our S coming in the coming weeks and the X later this year, beginning of next year, we'll have all that airbag already taken care of.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice. The only weird thing about them pulling all of them into the tent that makes me question why they're doing that is the airbag we have removed, I don't even know, a lot of airbags. And it is so easy. You just remove it, put a new one in. So I'm thinking maybe the tent might be for something else. I'm thinking maybe it's another trim issue, kind of like they had with the S.
Could be, but I mean, a tent, it does rain. Maybe it doesn't rain that much in Fremont, but if you have a bunch of cars out there, you don't want to be opening them up and then have water potentially getting in if you have the door open. So I could see that they could have a tent there.
True.
So also, this is something, we've been waiting years for the Tesla Semi. They said originally it was supposed to be out like later this year, then they said maybe delayed till 2022, 2023. But it seems like the CEO of Pepsi is not quite sure yet. He's saying that they're still expecting deliveries of the Tesla Semi, by by the end of, he said like Q4. And at first I was thinking, okay, well maybe the fiscal year for Pepsi is slightly different.
Oh, I didn't think
And I was like, okay, so that could actually, expand into 2022. But when I looked, it was only off by maybe a week, and that's only every few years or something like that. So really it lines up, their fiscal year lines up with the calendar year. So I don't know, maybe they'll be getting some, maybe these will be some prototypes or some initial test vehicles, or maybe they're just misinformed.
Well, Elon actually did take to Twitter about this.
After Pepsi?
Yeah, so James, I follow him. He's got some good info on Twitter. He said the CEO of Pepsi said on TV he's expecting some Tesla semi deliveries in Q4, but semi production won't start for another year though, right? And Elon himself responded and said, please don't read too much into this. As mentioned publicly, Tesla is constrained by chip supply short term and cell supply long term. Not possible to produce additional vehicles in volume until both constraints are addressed. Exactly. So I think maybe even Elon is starting to like sandbag their timelines.
Yeah.
Because it's only 100 semis is what he said he was going to get. It can't like...
That's not a huge volume.
Exactly.
But also we've seen at the Gigafactory there in Reno that they're putting in those mega chargers and stuff like that. So we know that the semi production started. They're not going to wait 2 more years before they're building the semi. So I can see them working on getting some production up and running there.
Yeah, I definitely kind of think that Elon might be throwing people off a little bit on this. Or he's playing the safe card due to some previous 2-week remarks. Yeah. And he's playing it safe, saying, I wouldn't read too much into this, probably going to be next year, but maybe internally they're really shooting for this year.
But even if they could just start releasing, kind of like what they've done with the latest Model X.
Yeah.
Put 5 out there, 10 out there. Yeah. And that list shows that, yes, it works. And
it's
they might have to change a few things or a lot of things, but at least it would be a progress showing that they've started delivering them.
I couldn't agree more. That would be something that I think everybody would like, especially as investors. Next up, so some Vegas news.
And this isn't directly.
Who doesn't love Vegas?
It's not directly Tesla related, but it is.
I think it is
because basically, what's the group there in Las Vegas?
This is
Vegas. I don't know.
It just says Next City.
It's basically,
nextcity.org.
What's it called there? Where they have is it the Tesla Loop or whatever they have there in Las Vegas, where they offer rides from the convention center and they're expanding it. What is it, like 50 stations in the coming years?
Yeah, they're really expanding it.
But basically, it sounds like Las Vegas really likes this idea, and they've actually given the Boring Company a 50-year agreement to keep this going. And this has been only been around for a few months, right? Yeah. And they've already given them a 50-year extension. So it sounds like they're really dedicated to this idea. The thing is, these current vehicles that are being used are like Model 3s and stuff, and they still have a driver in there, and it's manually being driven. And we know that when we saw the Boring Company event years ago, they were talking it will be automated and you'll be able to take your own car. But for this thing, right now they're still using drivers. And Elon mentioned, so basically they're using Teslas. They're not taking other cars down there. They're not allowing other EVs. They're just using Teslas. And we saw Elon tweet a few weeks back talking about maybe the next vehicle will be a van or some sort. So I think maybe this is a hint that maybe they'll be using a van here coming in the future. That's something that would be perfect vehicle because then they could take more than like 4 people or 3 people on a ride and start using it there if you could fit in a lot more people in a van. And who knows, maybe they'll come out with a larger version too for the Boring Company and these tunnels, but that would definitely be a good place to put a van.
Oh yeah, and so like in this article, it goes into quite a few things. It says the line, when finished, will have 51 stations. The company plans to have 5 to 10 open within 6 months of the start of construction, add another 15 to 20 a year until the line's complete. So 3 to 4 years for construction, which actually is pretty quick. When completed though, it'll carry up to 57,000 passengers per hour. And the 3.6 mile ride from the convention center to the Allegiant Stadium is Allegiant. I think it's Allegiant Stadium would take 4 minutes and cost $6. Not transportation for the wealthy. Very affordable, very accessible, and very, very comfortable. So if any of you have been to Vegas, you know transportation in a taxi is ridiculous. One, I don't really care for taxis because they tend to take the long way because they get paid per mile and stuff like that. But also like even Uber and everything like that from the airport, pretty much anywhere on the strip costs some good money. This is $6 to go the furthest distance. and you're in a Tesla.
But and so again,
That seems pretty
this
awesome
is
to
big
me.
news for the Boring Company. It's not huge news for Tesla because they're going to be actually using, they're still going to be using some vehicles there, but it definitely shows that this might be where we'll be seeing that minivan in use first. And
Yes.
also, they are still using drivers, but we think this is definitely a good opportunity for them to improve on autopilot, and perhaps these vehicles could be automated sometime in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And we actually got to see the tunnels in Vegas put to some pretty good use recently with SEMA, which is probably one of the biggest conventions, if not the biggest, that Vegas sees every single year. Obviously this year it is still pretty small in like relative numbers and everything, but it was open for people to use, and I saw a ton of videos of people going through it. I don't know if it was being like charged or if it was free right now. But there's a ton of turnout, and I actually didn't hear anything negative about it. Everyone said it was really quick. They didn't really have to wait in too much of a line. And now, what was it? 2 years ago, we were out in SEMA because we had a car featured in the show, and waiting for Ubers, taxis, everything was just a nightmare. I actually ended up walking an hour and a half.
Yeah, just walking. In Las Vegas,
Yeah.
100-something degrees.
I had to walk an hour and a half because
Maybe it wasn't 100, but it was pretty hot.
It was. Uber itself said the ride wouldn't arrive for like 60-something minutes, and then due to traffic, it was basically the same time. So I was like, I'm just going to get some exercise and walk. And yeah, I like half walk, half ran. But it's like this actually does make it much more useful, especially with all the conventions and everything. I'm super excited. We need to get out to Vegas eventually and check this out.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
and for those you might remember, we did go to the Boring Tunnel event when they had that. 2018.
Oh my God, long ago.
Like December 2018. Unfortunately, because of like fire code issues or something like that, they didn't allow any of the invitees to actually go on the ride, and so it was very disappointing. But we got to go down into the entrance of the tunnel, and we got to see the vehicle arrive. And Elon pulled in, and Grimes was standing there right next to us, and Franz and
CEO.
Lots of people were right there, we were shoulder to shoulder with them all. So it was a cool event. So the Boring Company does have potential, and it's cool to see that they're getting these contracts, like in Florida, Las Vegas, and other places.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I've seen a lot of people ask about on Twitter is, will they make an IPO eventually? And I've been seeing some tweets that it might be coming. Now, if they IPO it, would we invest in it? I would say yes.
Speaking of which, there was an IPO. That's a good transition. Wasn't
Great
even on the
transition.
list, but there was an IPO. Many of you might know for Rivian this past week.
And I've actually wow, the transitions on point. I've been seeing a lot of people ask about Rivian lately, on how that's going with their valuation. I saw Jared say Rivian's overvalued for delivering such a small number of cars. A lot of people agreeing with that.
It is.
So I definitely think it is, because it's worth more than GM, and they've delivered
Millions
a
of cars.
handful of
Yeah.
cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rivian has,
Yeah.
sorry. I honestly think Rivian is benefiting from, it's kind of riding on Tesla's coattails, and kind of betting from the whole like EV investment stuff like that.
I think a lot of people are just looking towards the future, and I admit
Exactly.
I did buy a lot of stock on that first. Well, not a lot, but I bought
Enough.
Yeah, several dozen shares, we'll say that, on the first day, and it's already way up. So I'm very pleased with that. I hope it continues to go up, and I'm not basing it upon the one car or whatever they've delivered. I'm basing it upon the million that they plan to be producing per year, like in the next 10 years. And so I just see they have potential. And as long as they can keep going, especially with the big pockets of Amazon and stuff like that, I think they'll do well. And I think a lot of people these days, they're not basing upon past results. They're basing upon the future and what the potential the company has.
Yeah. And we have similar outlooks on Rivian, but to be honest, I'm worried about the whole ramp up and all that, because it's one thing to say you're doing it, and Elon's pointed this out a bunch, and we've seen Tesla struggle a lot. It's one thing to say you're going to be building all these cars, and it's another to execute. It is a very big challenge, and I'm a little worried about the Rivian stock. Again, not investment advice, need to stress that. I'm a little worried about it because it could be extremely volatile here within the next couple months. So, but I think long term, I definitely think they'll do great. It's just a matter of when is the perfect time to get in to maximize your gains.
Yep.
It's a playing game. Real quick, want to give a shout out to John for that $5 super chat. Said In the climate control, I think the vent button is too close to the temperature button. I keep bumping it. I wish to give you a warning when opening. The vent button too close to the temperature button. In the app? I think it's in the app.
Oh.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, I haven't noticed. I haven't made that mistake yet.
I've actually not vented my Tesla through the app, but yeah, I think I don't know, just tweet about it. I think that's something that they would like to know.
I'll have to go look and see. But yeah, I know they moved it in the app, and it's like on the bottom right or whatever now. Yeah. And so but yeah, I know all about pushing the wrong buttons. So.
But yeah, thanks for that $5, John. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, I think our last bit of news, which is not really news, it's news for us, is our solar update.
Yeah, just a really quick solar update. It was an okay week. We're again at that time of the year where the days are shorter and it's a little cloudier and stuff like that. Haven't had any snow here in Colorado yet, where we live, but our solar, it's not quite up producing just what we need to cover our usage. So we are seeing that a very slight deficit. If Eric pulls up the graph, you can see that we have had a surplus since March. We've been covering all of our usage. Basically, that yellow line shows our solar production. The blue line shows the household usage. And you can see so far for November, we're slightly below that. So not huge, but the good thing is we still have just shy of 6,000 kilowatt hours saved up in our bank because we did have such a surplus from March through October. And that's going to help us get through November, December, January, and February of next year. And still at 103% offset lifetime for our solar system. So we've generated more than we've used. So
absolutely love it. Yeah, we've been super happy with it. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Kind of a low key. I did forget. There was another price increase on Model Y.
Oh yeah.
Another $1,000. What was that? Yesterday? I think it was Friday. But yes, Model Y went up another $1,000. I don't remember if Model 3 did. But basically the way this shakes out is if you think you're going to want a car in another year or two, probably put your reservation in.
Yeah. And so the tax credit still hasn't been approved.
No.
And a lot of people are like, okay, the tax credits, these price increases are going hand in hand with what the expected tax credit is. But also you got to remember the supply chain is really strained right now. Yep. Everything's delayed. Stuff is stuck trying to wait to get in ports and stuff. Elon said they're having to fly parts in air freight to get them from China and other places just because the ports are so backed up. So they're definitely facing increased costs just like all other companies are. But yeah, there probably is some relation to the expected tax credit coming out as to why that's the prices are going up too. Another quick update though is our X still has a date in January. We're still hoping we get it before then, but our Model S date range, we still expect to have it sometime before Thanksgiving. So maybe a week and a half, hopefully less.
And we cannot be more excited for that.
Because we have been waiting on it since January of this year. So. But
we've been waiting on the Model X since December
of last year.
So we're very hopeful that maybe something miraculous will happen and we'll get our Model X in December.
We did see that some more X's were delivered over the past week. So not a huge amount, but we have seen they've started trickling out.
And we've seen some kind of on some trucks.
Yep.
Being shipped out of California, which is great because almost everything thus far has been in California. So we're very hopeful that maybe it'll happen. But worst case, January we'll be taking delivery of the long range X, and I have so many fun things already planned for that car. I'm almost more excited for that car than like the past couple. Not gonna lie, I'm super excited for the X. I loved our X when we had it, and I miss it. So super.
It'd definitely be
excited.
nice. Definitely.
Oh, and the great thing that the X will be good for is transition to the dog cam.
Yeah, they don't know about it yet, so don't let them know. But
to be honest, I'm buying it for them because they won't fit in a Model 3. I'll tell you this. This guy right here is 120 pounds?
At least 120.
And she is like 90 something.
Yeah.
They're big dogs, and I absolutely love them. But they won't fit in a Model 3, that's for sure. A Model Y, when they stood up, it was really tight for them. Model S, same thing. So Model X is where it's going to be at for the dog use. So we're very excited for that, so we can start really taking them out and kind of like taking them places. Very excited. But But yeah, we can just go ahead and open it up. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about, drop it in chat and we'll go ahead and work our way through comments here. Let's see. Decorter said, I have a December 1st mobile service for my 2017 camera upgrade.
Nice already.
Ooh-wee. I don't know what Scott's safety score is, but maybe his safety score is what's hurting it.
It's not too bad. Last I saw it was at 98 or excuse me, 99. It dropped to 98. It's still not too bad, but
I'm disappointed.
Again, you'd think they would prioritize people that paid like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Then again, this only affects people who bought 5 years ago to 4 years ago.
So
and so it's all within that year. But there's also people though who bought full self-driving the day they bought the car, and then there's other people who bought it
recently,
a month ago.
Yeah.
And so again, you think they would prioritize the people who actually paid for it 5 years ago versus ones who bought it a month ago. But congratulations that you're getting it. We'll hopefully be getting it as well on the S100D. And you know, I don't think it will take too long. Once they came out with the upgrade for the MCU2, we didn't have to wait too long for that. You know, we'll get it in the coming months.
The one thing I haven't seen, maybe you have, has anyone actually taken video footage from before and compared it to video footage from after?
It's like what we've done in our video when we upgraded the.
Okay, I didn't know if it was something special.
It's like the same cameras. That's
Okay.
why there really shouldn't be a delay on these parts. They say, oh, we don't have the parts. It's the exact same cameras they've been using on the 3, and you know.
They're probably like trying to prioritize
new production. But you know, they're making
yeah.
hundreds of thousands of those cameras.
Yeah.
All they need to do is take a few off the line. You know, 20,000, whatever it is, or 40,000, whatever.
Well, I'm sure not all those people
and not all of them
bought
get
full
it.
self-driving.
Yeah, so that's going to bring it way down.
Not all of them enabled the beta.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it gets whittled down to quite a bit.
Yeah, there's still several thousand vehicles that
agree.
are going to want the upgrade. So I'm sure we'll get it here in the coming months.
Yeah. So, awesome. Great news, though. Let's see. Tesla Tim said, Phantom braking damn near launched me out the window coming home from Reno today.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Sorry for laughing, but the way you said it was kind of funny. Glad you had a seatbelt on. But I haven't experienced any phantom braking lately. I've found it to be very, very good. I remember back when Autopilot first came out, if there was a shadow from like a bridge, it would slam on the brakes.
I remember the first time we did a road trip and there was a tunnel, and that was kind of a startling. But yeah, luckily I haven't driven much recently, but
I mean, you've been in a car with me, and we haven't
had any issues, especially on the beta. We haven't had any issues with phantom braking.
Yep. John actually said in FSD beta, it's been having a problem making left-hand turns. So far, working okay. Drive through the city streets, but it won't drive into my driveway. Stops on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
So when I actually come home, I have it programmed to the home address. It will stop in the street and say, like, completed or whatever. It won't actually pull into our driveway either. Yeah. And it's never done that.
But we've noticed, though, for some businesses, though, it does pull into the parking lot. But
and some it won't.
And residential addresses, it's done. So, yeah, they're still working. We still notice some problems, though, with full self-driving with the speed. So, like, on our street, I think the speed limit's 20. But when it first does the turn, it thinks it's, like, 40, 35, something like that. So that's way too fast for our neighborhood street.
Yeah.
And luckily, after you go past the first house, it starts slowing down. But it needs to, they definitely need to get the speeds fixed on that.
Yep. Terry said, demand is so crazy and people don't want to wait. I sold my 2020 Model Y with 15,000 miles for $61,500.
Wow.
Terry, question. What did, if you will answer, don't feel like you have to. What did you pay for it? Curious. Either way, awesome. Love it. That's great news. Let's see. John said bought 1 year ago and got it. Oh, FSD beta. Nice. Lucky. The money guns.
That was for Dan.
We've been doing a lot of housework because we have a whole nother bathroom.
The money guns are low priority. Yeah.
But I needed to allocate some money to find, or some time to finding a money gun.
Look how cheap these are. They don't even. It's like they have batteries. It just doesn't work. But anyways, Dan, I saw Dan had a $20 super chat.
Thank you so much, Dan, for the $20 super chat. Really appreciate that. It said, been 345 days since ordering our Model X.
Wait.
Still told before the end of the year. Just ordered another Model X. Delivery date November of 2022.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for the news, guys. You're awesome every time you're on. Thank you for all you do for us. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. And yeah, it would be really cool if we took delivery of our Model X's on the same day.
Yeah.
Or if you need us to, we will still pick up your Model X and store it here. And I'll live feed you our security cameras in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch your Model X
Yeah, we
from
can
Chile.
share it with him. Speaking with this just in.
Oh wait, do I have the news thing? I have the news. Here we go. This just in.
Scott is on his way back from DIA right now. He says the car is phantom braking. So there you guys have it. We do experience this, I guess, on the S100D. We haven't seen it recently on the Plaid, but Scott is reporting phantom braking at this very moment.
Wow.
Breaking, that was the best use of breaking news.
I know.
Graphic.
I honestly, I didn't realize I programmed the breaking news button, so dang, we on it tonight.
So it does still exist on our cars. I guess we just don't see it because we're not in the S100D as often.
Yep.
So that means Scott's probably listening in while he's on his way home.
Scott, if you're listening in, speaking of, when fine parking, not a sponsorship, I would not park there.
Did you get it? You're talking about those notifications?
Yeah, I was getting a bunch of notifications saying the car wasn't plugged in all the way.
Yeah, so I guess talk to those guys at that fine parking place and tell them push a little harder.
Yeah.
Because if they don't push it in all the way,
push
it's
it
gonna
real
be
good.
what, like orange or something like that. It'll still work, but it's not gonna charge at full speed. And so we kept getting notifications today that hey, you need to plug it in a little more.
Yeah. You think they would know, but whatever. Huge thanks again though, Dan. I really do appreciate it. Rob said FSD beta stops working in the rain. Ooh, we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of
get
moisture really.
What about snow coming up? That should let everyone know it's nowhere near ready for public release and use. Facts. So if you're in FSD beta, can you still use TAC in the rain, or does it close everything out? Curious. Let's see.
Oh, by the way, to follow up with who was it? Terry Thompson. I just jump ahead. He said that it was like 57,472 and 90 cents. So he actually made money.
Get that money.
Driving his car for like a year and putting 15,000 miles on it. So that's amazing.
And people said Teslas don't appreciate in value.
Yeah, there you go.
I will say all cars right now are appreciating, but hey, people said they don't, and this is a good use case. They did.
Yeah. Kind of wish we would have held on to that 3 a little bit longer, though. Oh, well.
You mean the Y?
No, the 3.
Oh, the race car?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the buyer wouldn't have crashed it.
Yeah, also. But, I mean, but we could have made it a little bit more selling
alert.
it. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure if I would have sold the Y now versus when I did sell it, I would have made more money.
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
But whatever, here we are.
Nice thing is they both went, thing is...
one of them went to a good home.
Okay, you're right.
One of them went to a terrible person that I would never sell a car to again if he brought $1 million and shoved it in my face.
Well, I don't know. I'd take $1 million.
Okay, I'd take $1 million. But anyway, the guy who bought the Model 3 crashed it like 24 hours after buying it. Never sent me my plate back. Never responded to my text about him paying a toll bill that he skipped out on. I am very upset with that buyer. I will not sell to him again unless he has a ton of money, like 3 times car value. Be careful who you sell the car to, folks. It can be a pain in the butt. Maybe I should make a video of what not to do when selling privately. That's a good idea, actually, because I could save people from having to deal with this.
We learned from that, yeah.
Okay. So, Fuzzbear said, JIT, just-in-time manufacturing, makes just pulling cameras off the production line difficult.
Well,
True.
I mean, yeah.
True.
But hopefully they would be able to, put in an order.
I would love to be a fly on the wall of the Tesla factory.
Oh, yes.
I want to see this in action.
What could we learn? Yes.
God, that'd be so fun. Mark said, I can use the fob to summon forward and backward, but not the phone. Do you have to enable that on your phone? I don't think so. I think it just is summon you have to enable.
That's weird. Yeah, normally you'd think if you had summon, it would work via the phone as well.
Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, it's weird. I'll see if I can find some research on why that would be. Steve, though, with the $10 super chat, really appreciate that, said, hi, guys. Will Tesla swap their standard tires for my choice? My Model Y long range is reserved. No vignette. I want Michelin Cross Climate 2 for Colorado mountains. They'll probably charge you. But if you bring the tires...
They're going to charge you for that, too. I'm sure they're going to charge you.
Yeah, they're not going to, like, swap them for free. But if you bring the Cross Climate 2s to, like, pick up your car... Swapping tires, you might need to make a reservation for that. So to be 100% honest, I've used a company here since you're in Colorado. I'm going to pull up that photo real quick so I can show it to you because Actually, let me pull it up on this computer. Let me pull up that photo real quick. David, do you want to take another question? Real quick, though. I don't know if I did confetti. Is confetti not? There it is. Thanks for the $10, though, Steve. I appreciate it. Let me find the photo, and I'll show you. And David can answer another question real quick.
Yeah, I just see that, Dan replied when you were talking about being able to take delivery of his. He says he would probably need us to because he's going to be off to Costa Rica and then Chile.
It's Costa Rica
So
and
I was
Chile.
right. See, last week we were talking about Costa Rica, and he's mentioned Chile. But guess what? He's going to both places. So wow, he's
jealous.
getting around.
Can I fit in your luggage?
Yeah.
I can probably curl up pretty tiny.
So he might need us to help out with his delivery, but yeah, definitely no problem.
Totally
here.
not a problem.
We're not going anywhere. We'll be around to help out if he needs it.
Yep.
So, and then Ken's 300 says Austin and Berlin need to start up soon. This is only hope to reduce delivery delays for Model 3 and Model Y. Sounds like S and X are supplier issues for delay. And that's one thing we did see, as we mentioned last week, the VINs have come out, and they do have new VINs for at least the Gigafactory there in Austin. So those will have, I believe the 11th digit will be an A instead of an F. So A for Austin instead of F for Fremont. So hopefully once we start seeing those VINs with an A, that means we know that Austin is up and running. And again, they're probably only going to be building Ys there at first, but I don't know. Do you know if they're going to be building 3s? I don't think we know that yet.
And where? Austin?
Yeah, they're not
As of right now, no.
Yeah, but I guess if they're able to stop producing the Y in Fremont, that would free up more manufacturing time and space for the Model 3 in Fremont.
Yep. Okay, back to Steve's question real quick. So there's a mobile tire company that I've been using here in Colorado, and they're actually ex-Tesla employees, so they know how to handle a car, know how to jack it up, and they come to your house, your work, whatever you want. They have a balance inside the van and everything. So they actually came to the house because I needed some tires done up. And it is called Blue, B-L-U, Mobile Tire. Not sponsored, by the way, just great people. And there's their phone number, but you can also just look it up online and you can like text them or call them. Great people. I would highly recommend them. So to be honest, once you know your delivery date, I would just have them like schedule an appointment for that day, like in the afternoon at your house or whatever, or the next day, and they can do it all for you. And
it's really convenient because you don't have to drive,
so convenient.
Like go to Discount Tire or something and wait for hours or drop your car off and come pick it up. It's nice they just come to your house and they can take care of it for you. Tesla can do that too, but they're going to charge you, and I wouldn't be surprised if they charge you more than what this company.
I don't think Tesla can do it at your house though, mount tires.
Oh, no, yeah. No, I'm talking about you'd have to take it to the service center.
Oh, right.
And they're not going to do it on delivery day either. They're going to be trying to get you in there to just take delivery and get out.
Get you in.
And then if there's anything that needs to be done, they're going to want you to schedule an appointment later. So definitely, I think the way to go would be the mobile tire service.
Not sponsored at all, just great people. I would definitely give them a shout. And if you do, tell them I sent you. And I don't know, maybe they will sponsor eventually.
Hey, that'd be nice, yeah.
But just great people. So nice to support small businesses, not going to lie. Let's see. Tesla Tim said I was on a two-way highway through Lawson, a volcano park. So maybe the trees casting shadows didn't help. I'm glad you saw the humor in that. Because he had the phantom braking.
Yeah, we were talking.
So maybe it is that shadow thing coming back.
We saw shadow, in the past, and sometimes billboards and stuff like that. We just didn't know. But luckily, I haven't seen that much in the Plaid yet.
Yep, for sure. Let's see. John said, I wish the app updated for Android so I can use the camera monitoring. Same.
Yeah, that's
we
something
haven't tried my iPad yet.
We're still missing.
Yeah.
But basically, we do have the release. We just need to go, I think, log into. You need to turn it on in the car if you haven't already, and then try it out on the iPad to see if we can view those cameras remotely. But that's definitely. I don't know why it hasn't come to Android yet. I think it's just because, there's a lot more Android phones, a lot more, hardware configurations. It's a lot easier with Apple because there's like 13 phones or something like that. So that's probably why it takes a while longer for Android, even though Android has worldwide they have 70% of the market.
Bam. Pete said, how are you liking FSD beta? I think 10.4 regressed a bit. I'm super impressed with the beta. Works well on crowded California streets. And actually Rob a few after that said, I've noticed FSD beta, the last turn into a business parking lot, usually onto an unnamed road, and the car will try to speed up to 25 miles an hour, too fast for most parking lots. So then I kind of combine both years. I actually think 10.4 might be doing a little better, at least on the roads that I've taken it on. except for my neighborhood. When you pull into it, it immediately thinks the speed limit is 35 and it is 20. And so since I have an offset of 10%, it immediately jumps it up to like 38, 39. And that is way too fast for a neighborhood. So I immediately take over.
And we saw that too when we did the very first test drives of FSD beta a few weeks back. When it would pull in the parking lot, we were going to a Walgreens or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, whoa, it starts speeding up. It's like,
I think I actually even left that in the video.
Yeah, it was just like way too fast for those parking lots.
Yeah, but overall, I think 10.4 for my experience actually has improved a bit, but I would really like to see the neighborhood driving improved upon much more so. A lot of people really like the breaking news. Love it.
That's quite rare, though. We have it actually during our live stream.
I know.
Scott did report, though, saying that.
Oh wait, is it another breaking report?
Yes, it's another
breaking report.
Okay. Scott did report during the that he is listening in, and he said it's too late for him to contact the fine parking people to tell them to plug it in because he's already picked up the car.
But if you get us, since you're listening in, rather than have to tell you later, if you're listening in, if you get a survey about it. Fill out that survey.
Yeah, definitely mention that. Because that's another thing, I guess. Basically, this fine airport parking, they have like something like 36 or 40 Tesla destination chargers, and it's covered parking. And typically, you can reserve a spot so you can get your car all charged up while you're out of town. The problem is, I guess he had it reserved, but they're quite popular with Tesla people now. They all know about it. And so they said, well, sorry, but they gave him like free valet parking, and they go and charge his car while he's away. And they charge it up most of the way, and then they tried plugging it again today right before he arrived. Unfortunately, didn't plug it in all the way. So
Shocker.
It still got charged up to like 90%, but it just kept giving those notifications. So.
Yep. Just FYI, I am about 10 minutes behind on comments, but we are working our way through them. Jared said, "Who is Scott? Heard him mention on a few of your videos." So he is our roommate. Yeah, he has actually. So I had purchased the 100D in 2017 Model S, and
then it became my daily driver in 2019, and now it's Scott's daily driver. So he is keeping that. That's our
passed down.
That's basically our long-term test vehicle, and it has almost, I think it's a little over 58,000 miles. So that's our highest mileage we've ever put on a Tesla. It's still like new though. Really, no problems, no hardware issues with it, and it's still it's doing great. And that's one that we're getting the camera upgrade done as soon as Tesla sends us the invite. We'll be getting that done.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to compare it. And also, we're going to be doing a comparison vehicle, hopefully by the end of this month. And we're going to compare the S100D versus the Plaid versus the new S that we'll be taking delivery of. So, not expecting any huge difference between the Plaid and the other S, but definitely will be cool to kind of compare it to our older S100D, which is only about 4.5 years old, but there's a lot of improvements.
Yep. Diego said, "Can you request FSD beta if you are just subscribing?" Yes, that is actually what I have done on the Plaid, and I got into the FSD beta group. But I am just subscribing on that car. I did not buy FSD beta because that car isn't a car that I see myself keeping long term enough to make that $10,000 really worth it. So I'm just subscribing on that car. A couple people, Kevin and Rob, both responded and said TAC will still work when it kicks you out when it's raining from FSD beta. They both confirmed it, but it won't make turns for you. So that's interesting. Brian said he met the CEO of Cyberlander today. Fingers crossed he wants to use my artwork for their new factory.
Is that one like camper for the Cybertruck?
I don't know. Let me Google it.
I think that's what that is, but I'm not sure. But I remember when that came out a while back and they were trying to do a Kickstarter or something like that, and they got a lot of interest in it. If that's the Cyberlander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the one that friggin' Electrek dude won, free one, because that's not rigged or anything. Okay. So, let's see. One Bad Plaid said, "I think you guys mentioned you have 2 Roadsters ordered. When do you really think it's coming? Is it wise to order now since prices are going up on everything else? Put your seatbelt back on." So actually, huge shout out to anyone who has ever used our referral code. Due to them, we have each won 2 Roadsters.
And that was because back in the day, through the referral program, if you got so many referrals, then you could get like a 5% credit off per referral. and or no, it was $5,000.
$5,000.
It was 2% off, but basically, if you got 55 or whatever, and back then it was pretty difficult to get referrals because it was only on Model S and Model X, and basically it was a prize, and there were lots of other prizes too, but we did earn.
I think
everything.
we were actually one of the first people to hit that 55.
Yeah.
One of the first, if not the first.
Yeah, and so we did earn those 4 Roadsters as well as all the other prizes, and we're still waiting on delivery on those. But yeah, so we not actually have reservations, so we didn't have to put money down on those, fortunately. But
They are still in our account, but they, instead of like a reservation where you can like modify or cancel, ours just a referral award, and you can't like click on it to modify it because it's not like you can request a refund.
I don't think there's anything that you could change on it anyways. So either I guess people maybe had other reservations could change color or something. I don't know.
No, you can't even pick a
not
color.
Even, yeah, so it's the same.
Nothing yet.
So we can't say, but I don't know. But it's possible too. Do you think the price would change? As they keep
I could
raising
see
other
yes.
prices, maybe the price of the Roadster would go up as well. I don't
Maybe.
know if I'd put down the whole 250 or whatever it is, but what's the down payment for the? Was it 50,000? Yeah, that's still a pretty
50,000
down
for the
payment.
non-founders, 250,000 for the founders.
But we did talk about this a little bit last week. For those people who did put money down, like back at the end of
the launch event.
The launch event was that 2019?
4 years ago now.
2019? No, it was 2019.
3 years?
It was
Okay.
when we had the semi
Okay.
event, or was it 2018? Because 2019 was. I don't know, but anyways, when they did that, if those people had
That was 2017.
2017, so it was 4 years.
Holy crap.
Wow, time flies. It was then it was the Boring Company and then the Cybertruck. Wow, so 2019 was Cybertruck. Anyways, if those people had, instead of putting down the down payment, had put it into Tesla stock, they would now have like almost $5 million.
Yeah.
So
Last I checked, it was like 4 million, but that was before the big rally.
Oh,
So
yeah.
probably 5 mil plus
Well,
now.
but then with the drop last week, so it's still somewhere north of $4 million if they hadn't put that down. Then again, the people who have the money to put down 250,000 probably already have a lot of Tesla stock or other investments as well. But I don't know. Definitely still think it's going to be a cool car. We're definitely looking forward to those, but we just have no ETA on when those are actually coming out.
Yeah. I'm just looking it up real quick because now I need to know. The stock price on November 17th, which was the event.
In 2017.
In
Wow.
2017. Hold on. How do I read this? Open the high. We'll just say the high. So if you bought at the high, it was $65.33.
Wow, versus $1,000. About $1,030 today.
So if we calculate that out, so it's $250,000 divided by
No, take the 1030 and divide it by 65.
1030.
That's the current stock price is 1030.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh,
So
math.
clear. So
1030
1030 divided by
by
65.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, they can't see your calculator, but yeah.
Oh. Sorry. 1030 divided by keeps.
Do clear. Or I'll,
Okay.
Yeah.
1030 divided by 65.
Yeah, and then multiply that, or so you got. You could have 15 shares or whatever, right? I don't know.
No, that's the wrong math.
Oh, did I do it wrong? Sorry.
You did the wrong math.
I did it backwards.
So it's $250,000 divided by 65.33
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're going
times
the other way.
1,000. You would have just under 4 million right now.
Yeah. It was much better though, before the 180 drop, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Answered. Wow. A bunch of people are asking about the Model 3. It was not totaled, but I think it was like something like just under $20,000 for him to fix it.
Yeah, it's really
What
unfortunate.
happens?
It's
That's what
It was a
happens.
really nice looking car, and yeah.
It was sad.
It just said like less than 24 hours after we sold it, it was wrecked. So.
Yep. Kids call me because I had to get the tow because it wasn't transferred over, so it was in my name. Let's see.
What time are you
Okay.
looking at now?
I'm at 5:42, so
Okay.
I'm like 15 minutes
Okay.
behind.
I see.
Oh, Pierre. Oh my God, I just pushed buttons on that. Pierre, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said, sent you a tweet, couldn't fit it all in here. Also, I've lost $15,000 in the stock in the last week. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a little more than that.
yeah.
But we know how it feels.
Been some of our biggest losses in the past week,
Yeah.
but we've had such big gains. It's like It still hurts though to see
Yeah.
that little
Yeah.
red minus, but dang.
Well, it wasn't very little that
Well,
one day.
okay,
but-
you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
And it's still right now pre-market. It's down
Yeah.
again, so it might go down again tomorrow. But yeah, it's like I was bragging. I was like, I made much in one day as I make in a year or something. But then it's like the next, a couple days later, it's like, oh, I lost like a year's worth of.
Well, the funny thing is somebody actually tweeted a photo and they were down $9 million in one day.
Yeah, so
They have a ton of stock, but 9 million lost in
Yeah.
a day.
So imagine how they must feel.
I mean, imagine how much money they have in that account.
yeah.
though.
So maybe they're not too.
So maybe they're not
Yeah.
too sad.
Yeah.
But still, I would feel sick to my stomach if I lost that in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry said, speaking of selling cars, I sold a car to Carvana and it was never transferred out of my name and was later used in a drive-by
Oh,
shooting.
wow.
Guess who the state police called?
Wow.
Holy crap.
That's cool. Hopefully you had a.
Wait, I sold the car to Carvana. No. What is
No.
that local place?
What local place? Did
The
you
one
say?
that's behind Tesla.
Yeah, that was Isn't
Is that Carvana?
it? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. I hope
But
they transferred
the
out of
good
my
thing
name.
is though that you should have. I mean, I'm sure as soon as you showed them that you had already sold it, because you should have a copy of the bill of sale or something like that. Hopefully, they would be like, "Oh, okay,"
Yeah,
you
but
know.
still, like, not something fun to go through.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pras said Tesla overnight pushed my S long range from December to February to March.
Ooh, yikes.
Yee.
Ours actually got bumped up a few days, so we
Yep.
were pretty pleased to see we might be getting it like 4 days earlier than expected. So we need to definitely contact Tesla like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And get just some final last minute arrangements on that, because we want to make sure to get that discount, since we locked in the price or tried to lock in the
for
price
long ago.
before the refresh was announced.
Yeah. Melody said, I got a Y a few weeks ago. Congrats. I did not get the update for seeing the camera on the app, though. Any idea why I don't have it yet? Sometimes, like, we've actually had updates take like a month or two
When you first get
after
delivery
getting
of a car.
delivery for the first
Yeah.
update. So I don't really know any way to like force it to update.
Yeah, and again, right
unfortunately.
now it's only on Android. Excuse me, not on Android devices. So if you have Apple, it's probably just because your car hasn't got that update yet, and probably have to wait 3 to 4 weeks at least before you'll get it.
Yep.
But you'll get it eventually, so don't, just try to hang in there.
Let's see. So I am at 549. Do you want to answer some questions while I read Pierre's message?
Whitaker Bennett says, I just received FSD beta on his Model 3. He's 18 years old and thinks he is the youngest FSD beta
Oh,
tester.
that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's congratulations there, Whitaker. Yeah, that's cool that you got it. And what do you think? Let us know, does it behave like you would expect it to? Because we've tested it, it still makes some mistakes, but I was blown away at how well it did when we took it out that first day. Once, there was a little issue when we first tried using it. The first drive didn't work, but we waited a couple hours, tried it again. Everything worked fine, and it did those first 3 drives almost perfectly. We only had 1 intervention, and again, we weren't in like really high traffic roads or anything like that, but it worked great. I know Eric's used it a lot more since then and had some more, less than perfect drives, but for the most part, we're really impressed with how it's working. So, okay, Diego just said, Elon just retweeted Consumer Reports. Tesla Model 3 and S are in the top 3 most satisfying vehicles on the road. Yeah, it's cool to hear. And for Consumer Reports to say that must really be difficult for them to admit.
Oh, God, yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
Yeah. And then while you're doing that, Don Gortner is like, what is Scott bringing home for dinner? He's not bringing home dinner, I don't believe.
No, there's still time. He's listening.
Yeah, but I already ate.
I did too, but
Yeah.
okay. I do love French fries.
Yeah,
There's a Wendy's.
I doubt he's bringing home
Okay,
Wendy's or anything. But yeah, I already ate, so we'll survive. Oh, I saw Dan up there. Dan Brunchin said he'd buy a roaster from us, but we might have one to sell.
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
But no, in a while we're not going to keep.
Oh well, yeah, maybe once
Eventually,
ours, yeah.
eventually. But yeah, we'll see.
So real quick, this is what Elon retweeted. We surveyed car owners to find the most satisfying vehicles on the road. Rounding out the top 3 were the Model 3, the Kia Telluride, and the Tesla Model S.
Wow.
That has to hurt from Consumer Reports because they are notorious for doing, I don't want to say hit pieces, but not great articles on Tesla. So that's got to hurt.
But definitely, I definitely believe him because I mean, my
Of
Model
course.
S has been great, and people have been asking me for years, which one do you like best? And I always say Model S. And when this comes out or that comes out, I was like, I still like my S, and guess what? I like it so much. We have another one on order, and that's what's going to be here, in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I still, again, each one of them has their benefits. The Model Y, the Model S, the Model X, and the Model 3, and the Cybertruck's going to have its
Oh, of course, it's
as well.
audience.
But I still like the S just because I still like the range. Because when I do road trips across Nebraska or Kansas or whatever, I like to have the most range possible. And currently, the Model S is the one that's the range king of Tesla vehicles.
Yeah. The one thing though about Consumer Reports is they make their money from
Advertising.
and all these other car companies are advertising, and I think it is Consumer Reports that has their CEO is like some ex guy from Ford or something. Am I remembering that right? Maybe that's someone else. But anyway, like that's still got to be painful for them. For someone who doesn't give them any money to be number 1 and 3 is kind of funny.
Yeah, and so, I don't know. Here, Kevin, we were talking about referral prices earlier. Kevin says he never got his Powerwall from referrals, but not sure if he ever will. Definitely, Kevin, reach out and try contacting them and make sure you get that because we love our Powerwalls and we got ours from the referral program as well. We definitely earned more than the 4 that we have installed, but we didn't really have room if we wanted to mount them up on the wall like that. We didn't have room to install them all, and we didn't need to get 10 or however many
Although
Powerwalls
I
and stuff.
wonder if, because we had got more than 10, I wonder if we could have gotten like a power pack. That would
have been nice, but if
that would have been cool.
But luckily, we were able to get
It worked out.
Whatever. It worked out for us. But definitely, I would not let your Powerwall. We've seen a lot of people over the past year have just gotten them shipped to them. They just showed up
in a crate
on a pallet, and so hopefully you'll be getting there. Definitely, I would escalate that. Reach out. I know that Tesla doesn't install them everywhere, but I know that they've been shipping them out to people, and you can work with local installers to get them set up. And we've actually had people
or at the very least sell it to somebody who Tesla can install.
Yeah, if you can't get it, definitely get the monetary value out of that.
Yeah. Definitely reach out though. Melody said 264 people watching, or 246 watching, and only 66 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much, Melody. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, definitely smack that thumbs up button. It really does help out the channel.
So Rob Stack's asking, I don't expect you to test this, but if you canceled FSD for December and started it again in January or February, would you still be in FSD beta? Maybe desirable to get to a more stable version. Yeah, we might see that.
That might happen.
Because when we're getting the new S here in a couple weeks, we're going to be probably signing on or paying, subscribing for FSD beta on that in an effort to get the FSD beta again because it's per vehicle, and so we're going to have to go through and qualify on that car again. We don't know how long we're going to have to wait, but we're going to keep it on the Plaid in the meantime. But if we do get it turned on the other S, we could try doing that and turn it off if and if we still have the Plaid, see if that happens. So definitely something to try.
Breaking news again. Wow, today's a breaking day. Abstract Ocean is in the chat. They said breaking news, math not a strong point. So math normally is, but it has been an adult beverage kind of day.
But also, it's one of those things too. Like if you're called up to the front of the chalkboard, you could do it on your desk, no problem. But when you're
scared when
you're on the
watching me.
chalkboard in front of everybody, you're like, oh wait, am I doing this? Oh wait, I did this. Yeah. So usually we're much better in math. At least I am.
I do love my math. Ask anybody at work.
The nice thing about math is that you can prove that it's the right answer.
Yeah. Wayne said, did you factor in the stock split in that $65
Yeah, because it wasn't really 65 on that date. It would have been 300 or something back then. So yeah, that's already figured into it.
Yep. Reminds me, I gotta text Pete Abstract Ocean later. Don, give the new buyer your plates. In fact, you should keep them. A bill of sale will work if stopped by police. Yes. And that's what I've always done previously. But this buyer wanted the plates because he said he just didn't want to have to deal with being pulled over. I should have just been like, no, not going to happen. but I just did it because he seemed really nice, and then
well, plus there's
I
ways.
got shafted.
There's ways where you can get a temporary tag, you know,
Yes.
or you can even make your own little tag that says in transit. And if the cops pull you over, you just show them your bill of sale. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but now I've completely learned just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Keep your plate.
I think that we should make a video though, because a lot of people are selling their cars now.
Yeah.
And
we
have
sold a lot,
sold
so we could
many
give
of
some
Tesla,
advice.
and I think we could help some people avoid the hassle that we had to go through. Now, when I was reached out by the toll company and was like, "You have a past due bill," I was like, no, I don't. I just sent them our bill of sale and all that information about the new owner, and they said it's wiped from my account. But it's still like, it's still a pain in the butt. You shouldn't have to deal with that.
Luckily, the toll company had a form on their website you could fill out, and one of the options was, "I no longer own this vehicle," and you just had to go say, "Yeah, I sold it on this day, and here's the copy of it."
Our local one does,
there was
but
another
Kansas
one?
does not.
No, Kansas had.
I had to call them. It wasn't accepting the form.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe have to call, maybe not. We'll see. Peak Time Racing said, for people that put down $50,000 deposit on that Roadster, had they put that $50,000 in Tesla stock, it would now be worth almost $800,000.
Yeah, because that's the 50,000 instead of the 250. So
Yep.
yeah, even then, it's a big chunk of change they could have made.
Yep. Rob said Model 3 crashed, reckless driving. I mean,
The car was in perfect condition
it
before
was in
left.
perfect condition when it left. I had no issues with it. I was told by the guy, he was going around a roundabout, and I was told that he would send me not only the internal dash cam, but I had a 4K Blackview dash cam in there, and I never got those videos, which makes me think something sus was going on, and there's a reason why you wouldn't send someone those videos. But whatever it is, it's done now. It just was a pain in the butt. Let's see.
Peter Omakore is saying, if I want to qualify for the EV tax credit, can I hold my order? My delivery date is December 21st. And yeah, we talked about this a little bit last week. If you contact your sales advisor or just contact somebody on Tesla, give them a call, they should be able to put a hold on your order. And I don't remember exactly how long it is. And then you'll have an option if you want to later shorten that. You'll have an option on your account where you can say like release hold. But yeah, you can put that on there until like December 1st or something like that. Or January 1st, sorry.
Yeah.
Or whatever date you want.
Amy is in chat. Said, "Does someone beat me to the what's for dinner, Scott question?" Yeah.
And Scott
then,
did reply saying he's too tired. So
yeah, and then John said, "Have Scott pick up some sliders from White Castle."
We don't have
I don't even think there's a White Castle here in Colorado.
They don't have White Castle in
No.
in
Actually,
Colorado.
I have had White Castle, the frozen ones from Sam's Club.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Probably completely different taste, but that's about the closest I've ever gotten. I don't know even where the closest one is to Colorado.
I don't know. But yeah, we don't have them here.
Amy said, "What do you miss more, Model 3, X, or Y?"
I know. I know.
I mean-
Recently, we've been missing the Y. There's something that we moved in the
But
car the other.
the
Oh, those
tile.
wheels. Yeah, those wheels and tires we sold last week.
But I honestly think I missed the Model X more than any of them.
It was really
because
unique,
we
yeah.
need space for our lovely redheaded friends, Amy.
Yeah, and it was really comfortable when we did take a road trip to deliver it.
Sorry, I
and
broke
we
it.
drove it like I don't know
1,000 miles.
to deliver it, and it
So
was a
give
nice road
them the
trip.
quick story on that. How we sold it with 1,000 and put 1,000 delivering.
Yeah, basically, when we bought the car, it was back in 2019. We had one of the very first Model X's that had Autopilot 3 hardware. Very cool that was the case. The very bad news is, a week after we bought it, the Tesla came out with the Raven, and that had increased range and suspension and all these other things.
Everything fun.
And then they like lowered the price or whatever. And like, wait a minute, we paid all this stuff and we didn't get all that. So it was a little disappointing. So we knew that if we were going to sell it, we needed to sell it right away. So we actually had less than 1,000 miles on that brand new Model X when we put up for sale. The good news is we were able to find a buyer, and they were able to, do a deal with us very quickly, but they wanted us to deliver it. The cool thing is we got to drive it to them over in Nevada and deliver it, and it had less than 2,000 miles on it when we delivered, and 1,000 of those miles were driving out to meet them.
Can I give him a weird flex?
Sure.
So, our Model X buyer, I won't say who it is because we need to respect his privacy.
Oh wait, I'll get ready here in just a second.
He was, as David prepares, a billionaire. And we got to meet him, hang out with him. He gave us full tour of everything.
It wasn't Elon. It wasn't Elon.
It wasn't Elon.
But it was a billionaire.
But it was a billionaire.
And he was a great guy.
Nevada. We
Yeah.
can say that. Great hospitality.
Yep. He put us up for the night, and we
Yeah.
got to get a tour of the
They gave us a ride
facility
the next day to the
and
airport.
gave us a shuttle ride back to the airport, which was not close.
But it was a billionaire. It's definitely probably our biggest, well, one of our biggest, like, who have you met in Tesla world flexes.
Besides Elon, I mean, when you give
Besides
Elon, a
Elon,
high five, this was
but,
be the
like,
next one, yeah.
It was.
But the cool
It's our
thing,
little, like,
he was a great
yeah.
guy, and he definitely was cool learning about his history and his love of vehicles. He definitely loves cars.
Yeah.
We got to see his Rolls Royce and his other vehicles, and his cool underground garage that we got to go in the elevator and take it down. Amazing, but it was cool selling that vehicle. It was sad to see it to go, but that was the best sales experience I think we've had.
Oh, the sales experience, bar none. Sell to a billionaire every day of the week because they don't care. But yeah, that's like our weird flex. Sorry. Let me see where I am. I am about 6 minutes behind on questions, so let's see what we can get through. Hellman said, any insight on when new features will be implemented to the FSD firmware? FW? Is that firmware?
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately, no. I wish a lot of the people I have known at Tesla no longer work there, so I don't really get like the super close deets unless somebody like DMs me or something like that. But I'm sure there's always something cool. But will there be something fun coming up for Christmas and the holiday season?
I hope so. I don't know if it'll be necessarily firmware related, but hopefully there'll be something. They never finished the other half of the last year's holiday update, so hopefully we'll get something this year.
Yep.
Especially on like the Plaid or the refresh S and X. They're still missing a lot of features. So hopefully they'll get some of those here before end of the year.
Yep. iJot Tech said, I love Tesla. Sold 3 cars and now Tesla. I'm a reseller and canceled my order a week from delivery.
That's weird.
Delivery hour and date.
That's weird. We haven't had that problem. We've owned we're our
no, Tesla. And did they cancel his order?
That's
or
what
did
it says.
he?
That sounds like they're considering him a reseller, and that's what's kind of scary because I mean it does say in the terms and conditions that if they think that you're doing that, then they can cancel your order.
But see, I have a bona fide excuse. I need to buy vehicles to show my audience the newest and greatest.
Yeah, but also it's like we wouldn't have bought like a couple of our cars because they had the wrong interior.
Yeah,
and so we bought at least 2 or 3 cars with the black interior, even though we wanted white, and that's
just because we needed a car.
We're not reselling them to make money or anything like that, and we're driving them. We're using them as our daily driver. So, I haven't heard that before because I mean, again, we're on our number 13. Number 14 is coming up later this month. But again, we are not resellers. We're not making money on these cars. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard of that. Maybe. Oh God, Tesla better not pull that. One Bad Plaid said, Rick, the chief of police from Long Island here. Wow, that's cool. Big question for me, is Abstract Ocean going to ever get the screen protector for the new S?
Whoa.
Abstract Ocean, you're in chat. Can
they
I show...
Or can you answer that? Oh, no, he says final testing coming soon. It's down.
Okay.
Go down a few messages. So they did reply on that.
Okay.
But yeah, final test. We'll say that. Final testing.
Final testing coming soon.
Coming soon. There you go.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for answering that.
Well, that's cool. And Rick, if you ever want to relocate to Colorado, I know some place that's looking for a new chief of police. So
hey.
hit me up. So.
Our Twitter DMs are open. Jake's Online said, in California, you can now submit a notice of sale online. I think you can do that here in Colorado, but since the toll booth thing was picked up in Kansas, I don't know how that would translate. I don't know. But yeah, I think you can now do that here. Hockey Day said, in Ontario, you can't transfer a car with the existing license plate. The new owner has to get new ones for the car. Yeah.
And we weren't trying to. Yeah.
He wasn't trying to keep the plates.
He was just trying to drive back
yeah.
to the Midwest, and he didn't want to go without a plate because he didn't want to get pulled over.
Yeah.
But we knew that he wasn't going to be able to use a plate because it was a totally different state.
Yep. Exactly. Let's see. Roger said your video on selling cars should come with a warning about becoming besties with your buyer. Oh, we're besties. For those
is
of you
that Roger? Roger?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Roger.
I was like, because I don't remember any of the Rogers that we sold cars to. So, it must be Roger.
Roger bought our first Model Y, the Midnight Silver Metallic, and we have become besties. And we are also besties with Amy, who I don't know the complete relationship.
But yeah, basically they bought it. Yeah, and they
Common law? I don't know what you want to call
and we've
that.
seen them down here multiple times.
But now Amy has a Model Y.
Yeah,
And we've seen them a bunch. And actually, Amy, look at. Oh, David's using it too.
Yeah,
You know,
I use my
using-
little can koozie. She gave us these.
Yeah.
I use these every day.
Yeah, they're great, and they fit my adult beverage. Do not consume it unless you are of age. Need to go say that. But yeah, we've actually become friends with a lot of people that have purchased our vehicles.
Most of them. Yeah.
You,
or you still keep in touch. I still keep in touch with the
gentleman
guy
who
that
bought
bought
yours.
my S90D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, breaking news.
Oh God, more breaking. Wow, thanks. Back in the day. What's up? Oh, dog cam.
Yeah. Oh, Scott's home. Who's here?
Oh, and they're gone.
Okay, so anyways, Scott is home.
They're gone. Let's see. Ken's 300 said pick up a veggie burger from the King. Actually, yeah, they do have good
we have the Impossible Whoppers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are pretty good. Not gonna lie. Will said, was it Steve Wynn? We can't say who it was. Someone said, was it Adam Wett? Oh, everyone's trying to guess now. This is fun. I honestly, even if I saw the name, I can't, just out of respect.
We can just say
for
that
them.
it was a male billionaire.
How many billionaires in Nevada are male versus female? What's that ratio?
I have no idea, but that narrows it down, I guess. I don't know. But it was a nice guy. But
It's
and it
a
was
nice
and
group
I will
of
say that he
people.
lives in the southern half.
Don't.
The
no.
southern half of the state.
David, be
okay,
careful.
okay, I didn't say that.
Be careful. We don't. Yeah, we
Well,
gotta
that
be
just leaves out like
careful.
Reno. Come on.
Okay. Well, it wasn't Reno. We'll say
And
that.
Wendover and all those other places.
Are there billionaires in Wendover?
There's probably. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Let's see. Richard said, does the new infrastructure bill mean there's going to be a big federal rebate coming back? So those are actually, I believe, separate. The infrastructure and like the rebate stuff.
Build back better or whatever.
So maybe, fingers crossed, it still hasn't passed anything though. So we gotta be very careful about how that goes. Update from Ryan. Breaking news.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun. I've had too many White Claws.
Oh yeah, from his windshield that got cracked. Yeah,
last week he had
Woohoo.
said that a trucking company
With, like,
picked up
gravel or
some
something.
rocks
Yep.
and smashed his Model Y windshield. And today he has confirmed the check is in the mail from the truck company.
Congratulations. Like we were saying last week, they can't just
Love it.
claim they're not responsible. So glad that you followed up on that and they owned up to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Really happy to hear that, Ryan. Those signs that say you have to stay back 200 feet, not responsible, are crap. They don't hold up. So I'm glad you saw that through. Really, really am. Let's see. Fuzzbear said closest White Castle to you is in Columbia, Missouri.
Wow, there used to be one in Wichita many years
How
ago.
many hours?
So that's too long. I mean, isn't that close to Kansas City or something? Or?
Yeah, I think
No,
it's just,
Columbia is further. I
It's
think
further
even
east.
No, that would probably be like 14 hours away. Come on. So-
Okay, who can FedEx me some
Though
White
you know
Castle?
what though, might be going there pretty close to
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving, but I
Maybe.
don't think I was going to go all the way to Columbia. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Rob said David nailed it. It was a year ago, and we were looking forward to software V11.
and we still
And
don't
where's
have it.
V11?
I don't know. I think
Have you seen it?
You know, I think the refresh kind of has a hybrid version that
Yeah.
shows like what V11 is going to look like.
But I still think it's missing a lot.
Yeah, it's still missing a lot, and we still haven't seen that on the 3 or the Y or older SNXs.
Yeah. Idrotech said they canceled his order. He's owned 4 cars, drove them and sells them after a couple months, lost money on them, and now they said that.
That's
That's weird. That's really weird. I wonder if we'll eventually get hit because we do buy a lot.
I don't know,
But we
hope
don't
not.
buy any of them with the intention of selling. We just always like to have like kind of the newest and greatest. So
Well, it sounds like he does too, so that's unfortunate. Yeah.
that
'Cause,
is.
yeah, I mean, it seems bad to like cut off customers that.
But it's only 4. We've known people that have bought way more than 4.
Yeah.
We've known people who have bought way more than us. So that seems odd that they would just do that like that. I would fight that, but that's just me. Tim said if you invest $5K on May 1st of 2019, when FSD went from 5 to 6K, you'd have $110,000.
Yeah.
And that is precisely why I no longer spend $10,000 on FSD.
yeah.
I just put it into Tesla stock. But also, so it goes a little bit deeper.
Or other investments. It doesn't have to just be Tesla.
Exactly. But also, like, here in Colorado, when you buy a vehicle, you have to pay registration, and that is based on, like, your total purchase price or something, I believe. And so if you add FSD to that, that's $10,000 extra you have to continue paying on
for the next
registration.
5 years, your registration is going to be that much higher because you paid 10. So that increases your registration costs by 10%.
Yeah.
Or approximately 5 to 10, actually 10 to 20%, depending on which vehicle you get.
Yeah.
Because on a lowered cost, that's even going to be a larger percentage of the price. So that's going to raise your registration fees for the next 5 years. Whereas if you buy it separately, put it on a credit card, or just do it, even if you pay the full price, you're not going to be paying those higher registration fees. Or if you do the subscription, it's, again, not going to be having to pay those huge registration fees every year.
But there's also another thing that I like. And so, if you roll it over to your loan, I guess $10,000 over the period of a loan, if you get like a 149, it's really not that much. But if you put it on a credit card and you have the cash to immediately pay that off, you can get some really, really good points. And so we put like almost everything on our like Chase cards, which are tied to United.
Yeah, United miles and stuff like that.
So we actually use a lot of our miles. So we'll just like buy just like regular priced seats and use our miles to upgrade to like first class or whatever.
But even in the
so
past,
that's nice.
We've actually flown around the world, and we flew like first class and business class around the world.
Literally around the world.
But we paid like $80 or something like that, and miles. And so we had a lot of miles. But we definitely enjoy getting those travel perks.
Yep. All about the travel perks and making your money work for you. So Rob said everything related to Tesla is infuriating, exciting, advanced, wait and see, may never happen, but that's what keeps shows like this going strong.
Yep.
True.
Gives us something
always
to
keeps us on our toes.
talk about and commiserate and all that.
Yep.
I'm surprised the dogs came back so soon.
I know.
You'd think they would have been more excited to see Scott.
It's just tired, They've had an exhausting day. Let's see. Helma said, on my way back from a day trip, Orlando to Atlanta. That's a day trip? Right now, I drove less than 10 minutes myself. Love
Nice.
FSD.
Yep.
Not perfect, though. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but it just makes road trips so much more relaxed. You don't have to, like, death grip the wheel. I do love it. I've done so many road trips, and a lot. Actually, we've road tripped in every single model vehicle, and I love them all. It's great.
One thing we got to remember though with the X is when we drove out there, we both sat in the front seats.
Yeah, neither one of us got to enjoy the back seats at all.
We had all that space in the back, and we had room for all our luggage. We didn't have much luggage, but yeah, it would have been nice to test it out. And I can't believe we forgot to.
I can't
test
either.
out
Now
the
that
other
you
seats.
bring that up, that's funny. Dan listed a bunch of names. What are those for?
For the Billionaires Club, but no.
Okay. Cannot confirm nor deny.
And it sounds like Rob Stack has come up with a movie idea. David and Eric go to White Castle.
That would be a great YouTube short.
Well, that's a good idea because we
idea.
do like having fun with our videos sometimes. So that would be one. The only problem is, we'd have to go pretty far to get to a White Castle.
I mean, we could just go to Sam's Club and get like the microwave ones, right?
I guess.
Or how about this? If anyone
Next time we're on a road trip.
John said White Castle's 3 miles from his house. I'll hit you up, John, and you can like. I'll pay you, and you can like FedEx us some of like the trays.
Only thing is, I'm not gonna eat White Castle, so.
Well, we can do veggie. We can do a veggie.
You think they
a
have
fake veggie?
You
one.
think they have veggie
a fake
White
veggie?
Castle? Yeah.
It would be funny. Maybe eventually. Let's see. Amy said, "Curious how waypoints will work. Will be great for carpooling kids to school."
That's what we're
That would
wondering,
be
Amy,
nice.
because right now we don't know if it's gonna have multiple waypoints or just one waypoint. You'd think it doesn't take that much work to add, for the interface to add more, but we don't know yet behind the scenes, are they going to allow you to do multiple waypoints? So if anybody has that update yet, I don't know, at least one car has it, but it might have just been an early access user. So it'd be interesting to see that. We don't know.
Yeah.
But at least one is better than none, so we'll definitely appreciate it when it comes.
Yeah. James said it was Mr. G. Who's Mr. G?
I don't know, but I don't think it was Mr. G.
White Castle has an impossible slider.
Oh, interesting.
We can do this.
Oh, we can.
Okay,
do
we need to put those together. That would be pretty funny.
Okay.
Will said opinions on T Sportline wheels. Want to get some rims for my refresh Model X when it comes. So we have been really happy with T Sportline. Oh God, when did we buy our first T Sportline wheels?
It's probably been like 4 years ago, at least.
I think in like 5.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe more. We've been using their TST, which is kind of like their Model S Arachnid, previous Arachnid style, and have been really happy with those. Currently, we have set on the Model S 100D, but we have had those on Model 3s as well as our Y before, and have been really happy with those. On our Model X, we actually didn't have it long enough to throw other wheels on there, but that is something that we actually need to start thinking about what we want to go with for the Refresh X.
Yeah, but definitely we've enjoyed all the wheels we've gotten from T Sportline so far.
Yep. Let's see. Douglas, welcome. I'm just gonna say Doug. We know who you are. Said looking forward to Tesla Shuttle, where your Tesla drives you to the top of the trail and then picks you back up at the bottom.
That'd be useful.
That's actually really cool too.
Yeah.
Or what if like you just drive your own car to the top and you send it down?
Yeah, to pick you up.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I'll be down there in a few. You just make your way down there. That's actually a
But
good
that would
idea,
be cool,
too.
especially like I know a lot of people here in Colorado, like if they're skiing and
Yep.
stuff like that, they'll get a ride up and they'll ski down and
Yep.
then they'll wait on the side of the road to get a ride back up. And this is not in like an official ski resort, or maybe it's off and whatever. But yeah, I can see that with mountain biking too. But yeah, as long as you have a bike rack or someplace on the back.
I think it's a great idea once they allow it. So like, or yeah,
Send your
you
car.
drive it up.
Yeah, send
and
your
then
car
you
down.
send it back
That would
down
be
and
cool.
hit it. And yeah, that'd be really nice. Because otherwise, someone always gets left out.
Yeah, you have to.
Someone always misses a ride, or somebody has to like.
Well, that's what we were talking about too. Like
Go
just
up
like
or-
at the park close to us when we were talking about mountain biking here.
Yeah.
If we want to get on one of the other on one of the other trail entrances, somebody would have to move the car over because if you're going to ride it all the way downhill, you got to bring
I
the
know
car around.
one of my friends. He has his wife or one of their other friends' wives. They just hang out in the car and just like run laps. But that's kind of boring for somebody, and they don't even have a Tesla. So imagine, that's got to be really boring. They don't have Tesla theater. Let's see. A couple people, Dan included, also said White Castle has a veggie slider. So I think this is gonna have.
I
to
just
happen.
said find the closest one, and it actually says Scottsdale, Arizona is the
How
closest.
far away
one.
is that?
I'm checking now.
Okay, he's on it.
So, because I was looking at Columbia, I was right. It's halfway across Missouri, so it's a little further than I'm planning on going.
Nicholas said half-life of a White Castle burger is 2 hours. The
Yeah, it's not gonna-
half-life? God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I work in science, so I am very familiar with a half-life. That's funny, though. Jordan
Scott's-
said, please stand
Scott's-
corrected. Consumer Reports magazine does not accept any advertising, never has, at least when I was a subscriber. Have they changed? Is there advertising in the current magazine?
That's true. I think you might have
haven't-
misspoken before when you're talking about advertisers
Okay.
or whatever. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever purchased a magazine, to be 100% honest.
I remember it was great, but yeah, they seem to have it in for Tesla and some other
But
companies.
see, a lot of all these news agencies seem to have it in for Tesla because they can make these clickbait headlines to get the clicks. And then when you read the article, you're like, yeah, this is no big deal. Like, who cares? But they make it sound with their headline that like, oh, Tesla's dying.
Yeah, so that is a correction. Yeah, Consumer Reports, they don't take advertising, but pretty much every other, like,
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Okay, so it's 12 and a half hours drive. So I was right when this is to Scottsdale, Arizona. Columbia would probably be about the same.
Well, I mean, maybe there'll be a drive in our future. Helma said waypoints are more or less like supercharger stops on a long trip.
The only I think one thing we might use is sometimes we'll be on a stop and we want to maybe get food before the supercharger. And it might be a few miles off the road and you're like, oh, we're cutting it close. So it'd be a way that you could say, can I go to this restaurant or can I go to somebody else's house or something,
Then the
whatever.
supercharger.
And then how much will I have to get to the next supercharger? Because you might need to run an errand or two before you get there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Daniel said, I won't be impressed until I can download from the internet a pizza.
Oh.
I mean, I'm into that. Will said, great to hear. Going to get a matching 22-inch wheels and a 20-inch winter set. going to get the TSV satin black. What does a TSV look like? Let me look it up. Do you want to answer another question while I look this up?
Where are you at? Like,
he's at 6:28, so like 3 minutes ago.
okay.
Diego guessing
I see,
on the
yeah.
Cybertruck price once they start getting delivered.
Yeah, I don't know, because they've basically changed the reservation process, so they don't really have the prices and stuff on there anymore. So I'm hoping it doesn't change too much, because well, it wasn't locked in. You don't have an order yet. A lot of people reserved those trucks expecting those prices, and they were unbelievably affordable. I mean, the single motor one was starting at like 39,000, and like the tri motor was like 79,000, I believe. So hopefully the prices don't go too much.
Yup. So this is the TSV up here. It kind of looks like the Model Y.
Okay, like in the
I
induction
bet
or
those
whatever.
are probably one of the most aero efficient ones that they have, just because that's a very aero efficient design. That's a cool one though. Good call.
Oh, somebody.
Once you do it, definitely let me know what they look
You
like.
see Chris Ebshire, it says he will DoorDash shipping send us some White Castle. So, yeah. And I don't
Do
know,
it.
I just checked again for...
How much would DoorDash
I just
cost?
checked to Columbia, and it says it's about the same distance, so...
Does anybody know anybody with a plane? I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
We wouldn't
Actually,
do that. That
what
would
about
kill the
Robert,
environment.
or whatever?
Robert?
Elizabeth?
Oh.
It's like, hey...
Diego said he's next to Scottsdale, so we could make it a trip, and then we could go see.
It's almost
Abstract
exactly
Ocean
the
and-
same amount of difference to Scottsdale and to Columbia. So the person who said Columbia, if they
Right
didn't
on
know
it,
exactly
yeah.
where we're at, then that would have been the closest one.
Yeah. Let's see. John said I have T Sportline on my Model Y with all season tires. Get a lot of comments because of the red brake calipers pop. Yeah, they're nice. Love them. Oh, Michael said there's one in Vegas. Maybe someone will buy our next car
or
we
if we
sell
go-
in Vegas,
or
and
if
we can
next,
road trip.
Or next time we go to Vegas
Yeah.
to for a reason, then
Yeah.
or if we sell another car,
Yeah, and DoorDash shipping, that would probably be really expensive, but that's
Yeah.
funny too. John said onions are no onions on your White Castle.
I would get onions.
I would probably get onions, to be honest. Yeah, probably. Fuzzbear said they're literally cooked on a bed of onions.
Oh yeah,
I honestly don't know how they cook
grilled,
it, but
grilled
I'm in.
onions. Yeah.
Rob said I was in LA for work and was using Uber a lot. They have an option for requesting a green vehicle. I took a chance and got a Prius. Oh,
Well,
sad face.
It could have been worse.
At least you got a Prius and not like a Yukon Denali or something that gets like 4 miles to the gallon. But yeah, it would have been nice.
Did you
want
want to tell them some of this? Is
Wait,
not, it's not related to that, but do you want to tell them some more Rivian news or?
No.
Okay, never mind. But if anybody has a Rivian,
So I'll say this: if anyone in chat has a Rivian launch edition, oh, I can't talk, truck that they are getting and either want to make some money by like renting it to me for like a week or a month, or are interested in selling it, tell me please.
just because we think that you might be getting yours before our reservation kicks
Yeah.
in, so
Yeah.
let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah. Mark said Consumer Reports is very biased regardless of the type of product. I really haven't read too much of Consumer Reports.
I
to be
remember
honest,
back in the day, back when it was a magazine before.
Really? It was well, I guess like
Yeah.
everything was a
I
magazine.
guess before stuff was online.
Way
Wow.
to date yourself.
Yeah, but anyways, I always like the little circles, the full circle and half circles and this stuff like that. But I don't know if you know, but the toilets, not the current toilets, but the toilets I bought when I first bought this house, I bought them based upon the Consumer Reports
Seriously?
recommendation. Yes, and that's where they
Maybe
take,
they'll
like,
sponsor us then.
I think that's
because
where
we
they
buy
take
toilets.
They take
from
all
them.
these golf balls and they put them in a toilet.
Oh,
and
I've seen that,
They grade
yeah.
it like on how many golf, or no, not golf balls, like ping pong balls.
Yeah.
I think it is. Sorry,
But it's like,
Ping-pong
what a
balls.
weird. Never mind. I don't want to get into that
Well, you know,
analogy.
yeah,
I don't
so-
want to.
Anyways,
That's a messed up
I used to
analogy.
rely on them, but that was back in the day too, when there
Yeah.
weren't like as many like
Oh, of
online
course.
forums,
Yeah.
and it was more difficult for people to communicate back then.
I mean, you really want to date ourselves. What about like J.C. Penney catalog, Sears catalog? Let's really date ourselves, shall we?
Well, I don't know if you remember. Do you
Oh,
remember?
you bet I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Tim said I like to get a new vehicle every 3 years and have lowest known reservation number for the Cybertruck. Do you think they have 3+ years of reservations, and should I think of putting another in? You bet. I mean, last we heard it was what, $1.5 million?
Something like that, and they haven't built them yet. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to take a long time to get caught up on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if they have the Austin, Gigafactory start producing those, it's going to take years to ramp up.
Yep.
Because we haven't heard of them planning on building those at Fremont. I think it's just Austin. So it's going to be wild.
Yeah, I would definitely put another in. But Tim, if you do get one of the first ones and we don't have ours yet and you want to help us out, that'd be awesome.
For the Cybertruck as well?
Yeah.
Because we do have two reservations in for the Cybertruck.
Yep.
And we also have reservations for the Rivian and for the F-150 Lightning. So
we have a lot. And the Kia.
The Kia, yeah. There's a lot of them out there. We're not necessarily going to buy all of these, but it would be nice to...
I'm showing my support to the EV market as much as I can.
Yeah.
Fuzzbear said, which I love the name, by the way, I would expect all Cybertruck prices to be 10 to 15K plus when they launch.
Yeah, just as we've seen with the 3 and the Y, and even the S prices have gone way up, since we reserved ours. So
yeah,
I could definitely see that happening. It'd be unfortunate, but definitely could see that happening.
Yep. Roger said he spec'd out a gorgeous, mind you, he said gorgeous, Rivian RS1 a couple days ago. I'm seriously considering it. I'll send you a screenshot. Okay, I'll check it out.
They do have some really nice interiors.
I have seen the SUV and I have seen the truck in person, and I like the SUV, but there's something about the truck and that little port through. I just really like it.
Tool garage or whatever they call it.
I think if anything, I would prefer the truck over the SUV. But I mean, overall, I think they have great potential. I just want to see them get through the ramp of building vehicles. Because last I heard, they were building one a day, and that's.
Hopefully, that was a month ago. Hopefully, they've improved.
Well, originally it started out at 10 or something a day, and then it fell back down to 1 because of how things were going. So, hopefully things go well. Fred said I ordered a Rivian RS1 this week to go with my Model S long range and Model 3. That's a great lineup.
Congrats, yeah.
Daniel said, any of you guys invested in Tesla and Rivian? Both.
Yes, both.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was asking chat or us, but us, yes, both.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I only invest in things I believe in, and I don't do stock shorting because that's not something I'm interested in. And EVs are what I believe in, especially Tesla. Never bet against Tesla. I've learned that. Paul said, hey guys, I've been driving a Performance Model 3 since 2018. I have the Plaid ordered for delivery in December. Do you think it's worth the upgrade?
Definitely. The Plaid? Of course.
So... It really depends on what you want with the vehicle, though, because...
But I mean, it's a much better car, but the price...
Exactly, that's where I was going.
As much.
Is the price is a lot. Now, if you want something that's similar to the Performance Model 3, 0 to 60 and acceleration-wise, but you want to save a bunch of money, a long range will get you a similar 0 to 60 acceleration and everything, but the build quality of in the interior of an S just feels so much more luxe and premium.
The only thing, bit of clarification though, is Tesla dropped that long range nomenclature last week, so now it's just called the 2021 Plus Model S. It's not a long range anymore, but there's that or the Plaid, but definitely any of the Model S's are going to be a great step up from the 3.
Yeah. But I mean, if you have the money and it's not a big deal, Plaid is an amazing car. The acceleration is literally... I was trying to think, I was going to say insane, but it's not insane.
It's more than insane.
It's Plaid. It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
But anyway, yeah. But also if you have a place where you can use that, because we don't have I know there's a lot more tracks out, in California and stuff, that you can maybe take it to the track more often, whereas in Colorado and other places, there might be weather where you can't really enjoy it as much. So for us, I think I'm going to really appreciate my S when it comes, because I'm not going to be tracking.
So like Nicholas said down a little bit, is he should be able to sell his Performance Model 3 for a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
Which is amazing in its own. You'll probably get pretty darn close, if not more than what you paid for it, depending on mileage and everything. So
that'll cut.
It's really whatever works best for you. But if you're worried about how you're going to feel going from a 3 to an S, you will love it.
Definitely.
At least that's my take. Oh, so we have people betting against us and betting our live streams now. Diego said he bet his wife that David was going to wear gray today, and he won $5 from that.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, did you think I was going to wear gray? Because everyone thinks I'm going to wear gray.
That's kind of like a blue and gray there that you got on today, but
it has got some gray.
I do like gray though.
To be honest, I don't spend money on like shirts and anything like that, or clothes in general. Really, I buy I think I paid like $10 for this shirt, where some like shirts are like 30, 40, $50. I buy cheap shirts. I don't need ritzy shirts. Let's see.
Do you think anyone? So we're taking delivery of our car, another car here
Make sure you
shortly.
speak up a little bit.
We're taking delivery of our car shortly. Do you think anybody knows? Well, we won't go. I was gonna say, if anybody saw when we took delivery of the last vehicle?
Oh God. Here we go. I know exactly where you're going with this, and I love it. Keep going. Keep going.
What did we do on our delivery of our last vehicle? We actually wore kilts. Because it was a
they were
plaid
kilts.
And so we tried to keep with the theme, and have, plaid vehicle, let's wear plaid. So what does everybody think we're going to wear?
To our 14th.
To number 14 coming up here later this month. So
God,
could be later this week.
It's going to be so good. Oh.
What?
That could potentially be an issue.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Oh, it just hit David too. Okay, well, we'll have to...
I'm not that optimistic. I don't think. I mean, we haven't scheduled the delivery date yet, but hopefully,
we might have to delay it by a few days.
We'll have to check and see. But yeah.
Anywho, it should be a fun time. I'm excited to see what people think we'll do. This is gonna be good. I promise. Let's see.
Well, we have a couple different ideas though. One of them is definite.
Oh, one of them's totally happening. The other, I think, is going to happen too.
We need to get things lined up. But
spoiler alert.
I think it'll be really funny. Hopefully, everybody gets it. But if not, we're still going to try.
I think they will. I need a spoiler alert pop up, kind of like the breaking news, but spoiler alert.
Yes, we need that.
Yeah. Pierre said Rivian stock price will probably tank after first Q reporting. You know what? I hate to say it, but you might be onto something, because right now everyone's kind of buying into the hype, but when they really see the numbers, it might not be the prettiest.
Well, that's why I bought some, but I didn't buy hundreds or thousands of shares. I bought a few dozen shares just because I wanted to be invested. So if it goes up, I at least got some. Well, it's cheap. If it goes down, I'm not going to lose too much.
Remember what I did with Neo?
Yeah, you bought it at like $2 or $3 for Neo, and it went up to like 60 or something like that. So you definitely bought in at the right time there.
Yeah.
But then I kept seeing Neo going up and up and up for like 2 years. So then I finally bought it, and guess what? That was when it reached its peak, and then so yeah,
timing.
You win some and you lose some.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
It's not a bad risk. You just need to be comfortable with what.
Somebody's guess here was close.
No, that's not close at all.
No, but you wanted those. Well,
no, that's not close at all.
Well,
that was an original kind of idea, but that's not what's happening. That's funny though.
That's the only guess, so they're gonna know who we're talking about.
Well, then why did you say that? God, way to try to give it away. That was kind of a guess, but it was almost an idea, but we decided against it.
We eliminated that, but we'll see. Yeah.
Daniel said, "What is shorting?" So shorting is, instead of investing, you are gambling that the stock will decline in value. So in essence, you are agreeing to sell stock at its current price, but buy it cheaper at a later price, kind of thing. It's not something that I really participate in, because you're betting against the company that you're trying to make money off of. And so I only invest. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, if you want to make a ton of money, you got to start shorting stock, da-da-da-da-da. I'm doing just fine buying stock that I think will do well. So I'm happy. Let's see. Where were we? Fuzzbear said, when I was a kid, it wasn't Christmas until you went through the Sears Christmas catalog and circled all the toys you want. That's what
Sears
we were
saying.
We were just talking about that the other day.
Yep.
I'm still mad Mom never bought me the at from Empire Strike.
No,
did you get that? I didn't, but I got a lot of Jurassic Park stuff, but no, I never got the
from a different era. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still love Star Wars and everything, but yeah. Let's see. Roger. So Roger and Amy, we gave kind of little launches, and Roger even got to drive the Plaid a little bit, and he said it was terrifying, the launch. Your car scared the crap out of me. Is his
Maybe
exact
that's it.
words.
Instead of calling it insane or ludicrous, it's terrifying.
Terrifying. That's funny. Let's see. Diego said too cold for the Tesla shorts. Never. Never.
I mean, it's not like we're going to be outside for a long time, but
No.
oh, here's a little secret. When we did take delivery
secret
of
time.
the Plaid back in August, we did tell you we were wearing those Plaid kilts. We actually did not.
Where are we going with this timeout?
We didn't go full kilt. Whatever.
Okay.
We actually had the Tesla shorts on underneath the kilts just in case.
That was funny. Yeah.
So
I want to know where this was going.
So
first.
yes, we were wearing the Tesla shorts, but we wore those just in case when we were doing those. We typically
Jumps.
do jumping pictures, and with a kilt, some things might be exposed, and we didn't want to risk that. But even with those short shorts, it still could have.
I mean, it could have happened.
So,
It
anyways,
could
we
have
did have our shorts on when taking delivery of the Plaid S.
Let's see. Rob said, "Are we getting white on white for the long range S?" Yes, you bet. As well
Yes.
as the X. Those are the long range S and X are cars that we're not flexing on interior.
And we've been getting white on white since before it was cool, since before it was the cheap color. We paid so many thousands of dollars back in the day.
Look at that hand movement.
Yeah, I've been watching lots of
Are
my
you gonna
gestures.
snap?
I don't know, but
Oh, he doesn't want to snap now.
but
Okay.
basically we're glad to hear that Tesla is now offering Midnight Silver Metallic as a no cost option, so that will
Only
maybe,
for 3 and Y though. So
yeah,
far,
yeah,
not the S.
But we paid many dollars for that pearl white over the years.
yeah.
And we did like the original white that Tesla had as well back in 2016, before 2016 when they canceled it in 2016.
Yep.
Wish they would bring that back, but
Real quick, Pierre, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that.
thanks again.
Said, any updates on Model S aftermarket taillights? Also seeing condensation in the fog lights. Shaking
Oh.
my head. I haven't seen that.
He's
the
up in Seattle though, isn't he?
Yeah, Oregon maybe. It's in the
Somewhere in the
Pacific
northwest, yeah.
But as well as for the taillights and headlights, I will message them tonight after the live stream and see if I can get an update.
But also for the condensation, you might want to check with Tesla because we've seen other people that have reported
now
that.
More confetti. Apparently now Tesla is reporting condensation is okay,
Oh.
but if it pools, they will replace it.
Because I've seen people reporting bugs and stuff. Too.
Ew.
So, I mean, doesn't hurt, but yeah.
I don't want that in a Tesla
I
though.
would check and see. But yeah, we don't really have that issue in Colorado just because it's so dry and no humidity.
Yep. Brandon said just took the delivery of a blue Model Y Performance on Friday. Few issues, but love it nonetheless.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats. Don said onesie.
Onesie? That
was actually talked about too.
It wasn't.
Damn, y'all are on point tonight. Should I tell him what else was kind of like a onesie that was considered?
Which one? Well, you can say which one. If
Hold
it's
on,
been
let me go
eliminated-
black screen for a
if it's
second.
been eliminated.
Okay, I can say it. There was actually talk about a romper as well.
It was eliminated.
It was eliminated.
So we will not be wearing rompers.
But if you don't know what a romper is, Google at your own risk. And then you can imagine us wearing it and then figure out why we decided to not do it. Let's see. Amy said she wants another ride in the Plaid. Are you imagining us in a romper?
Yes.
Look how red. Time out. Look how red David is.
I don't know. I think the lighting's just weird.
We have puppy dreams.
Yeah. Layden is now dreaming. She's probably thinking of the rompers too. And
This one's Layden, by
she's
the
getting
way.
upset. So
Ooh, she just growled a little bit.
yeah, she doesn't like rompers.
Yeah, no, she don't like it.
Oh.
Slew Dog said, do you know if a friend can buy a car that I have on order? I have a Model 3 SR that Tesla put on hold when I picked up my long range. Price is $4K less on my order.
You might be able to do that because we've heard that more recently Tesla's been a little more flexible on that.
I've been
and
hearing
they've-
the opposite on Twitter, that they've really tried to cut down.
I don't know. I've seen people say that they put in the reservation, but they can't, and they've been able to get the order. They, contact Tesla, and they've been able to get it reassigned. There is a way too. If you don't have any other cars on your account, and you just have one reserved, you could just transfer that account over and do it that way. But
he already has a long range.
Oh, if he has a long range, okay.
Yeah.
Then that would require Tesla to do it, or I would try going the Tesla route directly and see if they can do it for you officially. There's other ways you could do it, but that's
that's the easiest route. If you're both paying, if he could pay cash, you could technically buy it and then immediately transfer to him. It'd be easier just to see if they could maybe do it for you.
But it's interesting that
But,
some people
yeah.
say they have no problem transferring it. In the past, it used to be Tesla was like, nope, not going to do
Yeah.
it, and because they didn't want people reselling it. Because in the past, people were selling for like thousands of dollars
yeah,
trying to resell it.
that's the issue
And
right
Tesla
now.
didn't want that, especially with prices going up and stuff. They don't want people profiting off of this and not even buying the car. And so if you just tell them no, I'm just selling it or transferring it straight over, it's a friend, they might be willing to do it for you. So it doesn't hurt to ask.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Daniel said, is it like betting against the market? Yes, pretty much. Some people talked about Neo battery swap. Yeah, that was kind of a big whoopsie. Not pursuing that anymore. Brandon said, I've heard some Model Ys have shipped with missing USB ports as well as wireless charger not working. So the one that I heard with missing USB ports, they were told that a few cars were shipped out because they didn't get their shipment kind of like in time. But they are going to be putting those back in. It is not something where they are cutting that like permanently from my understanding. But still kind of a bummer, but it doesn't really affect the grand scheme of the vehicle. We'll say that. Diego said, getting the new taillights for the Model Y, the ones that you made a video for, hope it's not super hard to do. It shouldn't be now. It was interesting when we were helping develop that product.
Yeah.
But now that it is all ready to go, you should have no problem.
Yeah.
Should work out perfect.
Eric figured out all the proper steps.
Yep. Pierre's in Wisconsin, by the way.
Wisconsin?
Who was I thinking?
I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking he was up in Seattle.
I was thinking of someone else, too.
Oh, well. Sorry about that, Pierre.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Have you seen the wrap color photos
I saw
from
those.
Shanghai?
So that's something
Yeah.
people were saying. They thought those were the new colors, like we talked about last week. With the new colors definitely coming to Berlin. We don't know if they're coming to Austin or Shanghai yet, but we do know that in Shanghai they offer custom wraps that you can get done. And I saw some that were like they look kind of like a really light blue, and they had different reds and everything. And you can see them out on the lot in Shanghai.
Yeah.
So if you do, but yeah, some of them were neat. Yeah, definitely. It's nice that Tesla offers that there. It's too bad they don't offer that here.
Yeah.
But it definitely, I think it's more cost intensive here. Maybe labor's cheaper there, you know.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Yeah, probably, actually.
Cool thing is there's lots of wrap shops here. I don't know if
yeah.
there's like a wrap industry, you know. Maybe they don't do that as much privately, but I don't know.
What,
But
here?
in China.
Oh, there's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, there's
So it's
car
weird-
culture
so it's
in
weird
Asia
that-
is actually pretty.
So, yeah, it's-
Japan, it's a little bit more.
But it's
than
nice
China,
that they're
but-
offering it direct from the factory, already wrapped up like
Yeah,
that.
that would be nice as long as they do a good job. Because quality is everything. Let's see. Ryan said, I don't get any notifications from the app. I have it turned on in settings. Is there a way to fix that?
I heard somebody else last week saying that they weren't
Maybe
having-
in the security settings for the app.
Yeah, or you could try uninstalling it, reinstalling it,
Yeah.
and then maybe it will prompt you. Because, yeah, we have no problem receiving it. But I saw some person with an iPhone was saying that last week where they weren't getting a notification. But as we said earlier in the live stream, we were getting way too many notifications because
Yeah.
somebody didn't plug in Scott's car all the way.
Yeah. Diego said, reading reports that Tesla started installing Starlink at superchargers.
That would be nice.
That'd be really nice, actually. He said he tried uninstalling and reinstalling and
already?
did nothing. Luke said BMW is removing touchscreens. GM is removing heated seats. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
I did hear about GM. I didn't know BMW is removing touchscreens.
But how can they
That's kind
remove
of
it?
odd.
Oh, is that? I haven't. Okay, maybe they don't rely on it because we were talking with somebody else the other day. Who was that? And she
don't know.
said that they had in her car. She could do a touchscreen. She's got a little knob. She's got real buttons. Who was that?
I don't know.
But it's just like you had 3 different ways of doing the same thing. I was like, that seems like overkill or a waste. But so I guess if BMW is able to remove the touchscreen, maybe it's because they still have buttons for all that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Or the dial. Do you remember the dial? Where but you try to tap and do navigation.
And you're supposed to
S,
spell out on the
yeah,
top too.
with
and
a dial and tap.
Not for me.
That's just.
Somebody asked, did they already talk about waypoints? Yes, that was probably
That was
30 minutes in, 20
no,
minutes
that was
in?
like the first couple seconds.
Oh,
into the,
okay, so
or
probably
the first
like-
minute. But then we talked about it again later on. But
Probably like
basically,
6 minutes in.
But basically, Waypoint's cool. This is going to be coming in 2021.40.5. We've seen. Not anybody really has it so far, so it might just be an early access vehicle that's seen that. But the release notes, we did show a picture. You can pull up the picture of the release notes.
yeah.
But basically, we noticed it says add stop. It doesn't say add stops. So we still have a little question question as to whether or not.
But maybe
will
it's you can
allow
only add one at a
multiple
time.
waypoints. Yeah, but even if you read the description, it doesn't
Yeah.
say add multiple ones. So it remains to be seen. But any waypoints will be better than none. So we're glad to see that they're finally adding that feature.
Definitely. Let's see. Slew Dog said during night drives I get hard phantom braking from oncoming headlights when autopilot's engaged. I also get the right pillar camera is blocked or blinded message. Guessing I need new cameras? I don't know. I haven't. So I don't really do much night driving. I guess coming up I'll start doing some
it's
more
getting
because
darker
of
earlier.
the timing. But I haven't gotten the pillar camera blocked or blinded for a long time. A long time. So that's odd. That's not right. Maybe do like a service ticket, but I think what would be super beneficial is if you write down or jot the time when it occurred, and then when you do your service ticket, put that in there so that they can research it on the back end and see what's going on with that. That would probably help them. Now when it says it's blinded, have you ever saved the dash cam footage and kind of like, I mean, it's the pillar camera, so it's hard to see. Actually, yeah, you really wouldn't be able
We
to.
might be able to see overall,
How
is
it
it really
looks.
sunny out? And is the sun on that side of the car? So it might be helpful just to see from the repeater camera.
Yeah. John said in my 2020 Model Y, I don't have the outside speaker. How much does it cost to have it put in? So the actual part, like the speakers, like $50, I think. But you have to have Tesla do it because they have to actually hook a computer to your car and enable it. I think Diego's spot on. I think it's like 200 and something.
And it's unfortunate that it's not just plug and play, because when we plug it
easy
in,
to do it.
it actually will work for the pedestrian warning system if you just plug in the speaker. And we bought one that was for a Model 3, put it on a Model Y, worked instantly. The problem is that the boombox feature didn't work. And again, it would be nice if it was plug and play, because it should be able to see, okay, you've got a speaker, I will now enable this. But again, it just requires somebody to go in and say, enable boombox. And that's what that $200 or $150 in labor plus the $50 in parts going to run you.
Yeah, kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. Helmut said Tesla adds missing stuff at least. No heated seats because of chip shortage for luxury cars. Crazy. I agree. I wouldn't buy that. Pierre said, is Adam's leather vinyl coating a good ceramic coating for the white seats? I actually haven't used that. I've never ceramic coated any of our Tesla seats.
Yeah.
Again, though, I don't wear like super heavy blue like jeans. Lately,
In the last year and a half.
2 years actually, have probably been like sweatpants. I think I've only worn jeans a handful of time, interviews at work, as well as some other things that I had going on. But I don't really wear, and all my jeans are like whitewashed too. They're very like doled out.
They're breaking news.
Oh my God, more breaking news.
We have another, this just in, we have another correction. It was not Carvana, it was CarMax. Sorry.
Oh,
We-
that's
we
why I
need-
sold my car too?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So.
Too many cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used anything on my ceramic coat or anything for the white seats. So I'm honestly not sure. That's a great question though. Maybe I will do some research for the new cars and maybe we'll ceramic coat them. I mean, I don't imagine it would hurt. I don't think so. Terry said I disconnected my pedestrian warning system with the connector from Abstract Ocean.
And you see what it,
I mean, to be honest, like they're not all that they're cracked up to be.
the noise.
The noise,
It's
yeah.
very annoying. On the Plaid, it is so
loud.
When Eric backs up in the morning, I can hear it. He backs up. We've got a really long driveway. I can hear it in the entire time, and I'm sure our neighbors a house or two down can all hear it. And if you had a gas car, they wouldn't be able to hear it. But with this electric vehicle forced to make noise, you can hear it from hundreds of feet away.
Yep. Rob said the breaking news thing is loud. I'll adjust that after.
Oh, I
this.
didn't know I had sound.
Yeah, it has the do 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 do.
Can we still talk doing it? I can't remember.
It still has us, but
Okay.
I'll adjust it after the stream is over.
We don't hear
and
it on
it'll
our
be
end, and
quiet.
so we don't.
Yeah, it's like do 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 do.
Okay.
Okay, sorry guys, no more breaking
another
news
thing too,
tonight.
we'll have to figure out with because my car, this will be the first one that will have that warning system, and I want to see if there's some other alternatives kind of in between. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the first car for you that's had it. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. But we've had quite a few that have had it. Model Ys, 3s. Yeah. Oof. John said got first snow last night, just a dusting. We've had a dusting.
But I mean, it only
But-
lasted for a few minutes, and
Yeah.
it was like the grapple or whatever. It's like a corn snow or grapple.
Oh,
what it's
grapple.
called.
Is that?
That's what we had.
I just learned something today.
Grapple.
A grapple.
Yes, GRAUPEL, I believe, and that we
It's like
had.
little itty bitty snowballs.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so that's all we've had so far this year, and it was like a week and a half ago.
Don said we can't hear David when the
Aha.
breaking news.
So
is
that's why
going
I
on.
wasn't.
So the
sometimes-
breaking news is too loud. Okay, I'll adjust
Yeah.
that after this. My bad. Let's see. Michael said, "Is PPF really necessary on your EVs?" I mean,
And it's not just an EV.
it's not just. Yeah, I would say any car. Is it really necessary? I just choose to really protect. I kind of see cars as an investment in a way. I don't want the paint getting all beat up here in Colorado. They put a lot of stuff down on the roads for the winter, and it's nasty, mucky stuff.
Also with Teslas, I think it's the most people have ever spent. A lot of people have
true.
ever spent on a car. If you have a $20,000 Civic or something like that, you're not that concerned about the paint or the car lasting that long. But with a Tesla, people are spending more than they've ever spent, and so they want to be able to keep that car looking good for as long as possible. So that's why I think people are spending a lot, or thinking of PPF. And we've done it on pretty much every car, not necessarily the entire car, but sometimes we just do the front.
Here in Colorado, the very least I would do is the front bumper and the hood, because if people are gonna kick up rocks or stuff, that's what it's gonna hit. So at the very least, that's what I would like to do. Let's see. Pete with the $2 super chat, really appreciate that. Said my delivery is December. Should I push it to January for the tax credit? David?
I don't know. Again, if it's like if it qualifies, 3 or Y, then and if you really need the tax credit, then yeah, it wouldn't hurt to contact Tesla and say you want to put it on a hold. If you definitely, the thing is, we don't even know if the tax credit will be around in January.
Yeah.
It might be February or March. So it's like and
Nobody
you don't know
really knows when it could come into.
And also, a lot of people, months ago started putting their cars on hold. And guess what? With all these price increases that have been happening, it actually might have been cheaper for some of these people to take delivery 6 months ago, 4 months ago, than to try to wait for tax credit, because now they're just getting it balanced out. So you just gotta, and also depends on how soon you need the car. If you sold your other car 6 months ago and you need it now, then take delivery. But if you definitely need the tax credit, hold out for it if you can.
Yeah. Rob, DM me on Twitter, please.
And I saw MB911 ask if they can ask a Plaid media question.
Oh yeah, you bet.
So definitely throw it in there, and we can get to it really quick. But Eric can probably answer that because he's definitely the Plaid daily driver. So
I love the Plaid. It's a great car. Let's see. Diego said 100% love PPF. My front end would look like a mess by now. Yeah, I've been really happy with PPF. It's another peace of mind, to be honest. Because also, like, if you're in a parking lot and there's like a cart that goes by, rather than get a scratch or anything, it protects it a lot. It can be pretty expensive.
okay, here's the MB911 question. They said they got their Plaid last Friday. The Sirius XM Icon app is nowhere to be found. Latest update on the screen shows inclusion with immersive sound. So yeah, that was something that if you let's say, so he just got it last Friday. He might not have that yet if he still has an older version.
He said the latest update on the screen shows inclusion with immersive sound.
I can't remember if immersive sound came at the same time as Sirius, but go to your inputs though, and you need to
unchecked.
You need to scroll it over. Or remember how it was like all the way on the right? You had to like swipe things over, and so you have like isn't that where you have like radio or FM?
I think so.
But keep trying to scroll all the way to the right or whatever, or move things over and see if XM is all the way over, because that's where ours was.
Yeah.
So definitely check for it there.
Yeah. Let's see. Sharp said, "What's your opinion on the Rimatrix Model Y rim covers? Think it's a nice alternative to the stock 19-inch rims. I really haven't looked into them too much, but I am a big fan of options. So
yeah, aftermarket stuff.
All the better.
It's cool that there are so many accessories, all different ones.
It's amazing. John said, "I wonder if they're gonna do a software update when we turn on our blinkers on the camera comes on the side."
I've been wondering about that for years.
I would love that.
I thought, remember back in the day before when 2017 when they were starting to make the screen flash, like if you're not paying attention on autopilot, and then they changed it so then it just had like a glow at the bottom or something like that. I thought, oh, that's because we're gonna start getting camera views, because when we've done test drives in other vehicles, whether it's a Honda or what was was it the Karma?
The Fisker?
No, we drove a Karma. It wasn't a Fisker.
Yeah. It was a Karma, but yeah. Okay.
But when you would do the turn signals, it would show you a little camera
show it
view.
up, yeah.
And it's it's like, yeah, why isn't Tesla? They have the technology, and it wouldn't take much to do that. So it'd be nice if they added that. We thought it was coming years ago, and it's not there yet. So we were obviously wrong about that.
Yeah. I don't think it would take that much. Maybe
No,
I'm wrong, though.
They already have the feed there. They just need to display
yeah.
it. Only problem is like on a 3 and Y, you only have the one screen, and
But give it a little bit of.
But if you're like turning left, you want to be looking right at the center screen to do a left turn.
True.
On the S and X, maybe a little easier because you're maybe looking more straight ahead, and you have the instrument cluster, so you could have it show up on the left or the right.
Yeah.
We don't know. It'll be interesting to see though what they're going to be doing with the Cybertruck, because if they did say that it will have removable mirrors, maybe
They
they're going
have
to
to
take
have
that to
something,
account,
right?
and maybe are they going to have new screens over on the side, or are they going to do it? They've got to have more than just one screen, I think, in the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Even though that's all they showed, they've got to have more than one.
I mean,
screen.
a lot's changed in
It's been a
3
while.
years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jennifer said a front and back bumper wrap out here in Colorado makes sense for driveways and parking lot entrance exits. Some of them are very steep. Yep. Tiger Roll said I'd like to see a race car track laps again. Maybe. I'm trying. Let's see. Checked all media, nothing shown, but thank you. Reach out to me on Twitter, and I'll see if I
because then we can
figure
try
stuff out.
walk through it. Because I know that when it first came out,
You had
it
to
did-
swipe.
Yeah,
kinda
but
weird.
it didn't have it. Then we got a software update, and then we went out and we could slide things over and see it. But that's something they should still be including, because they haven't. I don't think they've removed it from the website, and I don't think they would get rid of it.
Yeah. Diego said my stepdaughter just got her first car, 2018 Civic, that has the camera feature when you turn
Yeah,
right.
see, so
Amazing.
even like a cheap Civic has it. So yeah, at least for right. 'Cause
Come on,
it's kinda
Tesla.
Yeah.
Yep. Mike said hopefully the House passes the package for the EV credits this week.
Yeah, and
That'd be nice.
And we've
because,
seen a
like,
lot.
yeah.
It keeps going back and forth as all the how much the max credit would be, but I don't know. I'm don't agree with all of it. Like again, we've talked about like union vehicles and stuff. It seems like non-union made vehicles are going to be just as non-polluting, and if their goal is to get more people into EVs, then having it built by a union or not, that shouldn't affect the tax credit.
Yeah. Let's see. Jim said, am I getting used to the yoke, or are you still having issues? 100% used to it. I could drive with my eyes closed. Just kidding. But I have no problem like turning or anything like that. I feel completely solid with it. Brandon said bird's eye view would also be nice.
Yeah, kind of like, did you see like Lucid Air like showed their thing?
But they have
like,
so many cameras on that thing.
Yeah, but it looked very similar. I mean, to how Tesla showed their like 3D point vision or whatever like that.
Yeah.
How you can rotate it around on the 3 and the Y with the touchscreen. But that's not nearly as detailed. But Tesla could add something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be exactly right because again they don't have cameras.
Some blind spots.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you have it now with the visualizations, and it's amazing how it can see all the different lanes and all these different cars, and it's pretty cool so far.
Yep. Fuzzbear said, I just want the camera feeds to show up during lane changes so I can easily see the blind spot. I missed the blind spot warning lights from my previous car. That too.
That's why we're surprised it hasn't been added yet.
John said, what's the fastest you can drive in reverse in the Plaid? I believe it's 17 miles an hour still, which if you have never driven 17 miles an hour in reverse, I recommend you do it if you have a safe spot where you can try it, because it feels like 100. It feels way too fast in reverse. It is it messes with your mind.
We should test that again, because I know you tested that in the 3 or something.
I've done the 3, the Y, and the 100D.
Yeah, but we haven't. I don't think we've done the Plaid. It's probably the same.
Yeah,
but that'd be something to confirm, I guess.
Yep. Jennifer said, thanks for the shout out. No problem. Love our Colorado folks. Also wonder if you can change the pedestrian warning sound in the Boombox app with a file that plays silence or near silence.
Unfortunately,
but you have to redo that like every time you get in the car.
But also though, I think it plays your sound in addition to it, because the law is that all cars of the same make and model or whatever have to produce the same sound. So they do, but then you can play your other sound with it. And so silence wouldn't really cancel out that sound, unfortunately. Now, if somebody could come out with a noise cancellation thing,
Yeah.
Right now, you can't do that.
Yep. Fuzzbear said, I thought I'd be upset about not getting the tax credit, but since they raised the price so much since March, I basically did.
Yeah,
That's exactly what David was saying.
Yeah.
Sharp said, did you see the Jay Leno Model S Plaid episode this past week? Excited he broke the record. Great exposure for Tesla. I didn't see it. I heard about it. But unfortunately, his record has since been broken.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody got under 9 seconds.
And it's somebody we know.
No, it's not.
I thought you said it was George.
No, he got a 9.2.
Oh, okay. So what was the other one then?
It was, I actually retweeted it. Somebody gutted their Model S Plaid and they hit a high 8 second.
Oh, wow. Well, George still did pretty good. Pretty well.
George did good.
Really close.
He did really good.
So congrats to
George.
George.
He was at that Holly event that we bailed on. Rob said, while driving through a very busy intersection, my screen went to a simulated bird's eye view. I have FSD beta. It was strange. Caught my eye while I was driving. That's weird.
Yeah. And like I see like Hockey Day and others are talking about, we don't have the cameras like underneath the mirrors, the side mirrors. So yeah, that's why you can't use it for parking stuff like that. But they can still
could still simulate it with a blind spot.
Yeah. Or if you're just rotating around, you're not trying to see the curbs and stuff. You're basically trying to see vehicles and other stuff around you. So they could do something, but yeah, it's not going to be as detailed as if you did have those cameras. And also up at the front, there's no camera like down the front bumper.
Yep.
It's up high.
Yeah. Slew Dog said, just did a 2,200 mile road trip from Florida in my Model 3 long range. I've done this trip a dozen times, and driving the Tesla was by far the best driving experience. Supercharging stops keep you fresh. Exactly. I don't want, I can sit in the car for 600 miles, but I don't want to. I want to get out, stretch my legs a little bit, get a bite to eat, use the restroom, and it's nice and refreshing.
And it's so easy too it's so nice with the autopilot auto steer because you just don't have to hold the steering wheel, You
don't have to death grip it.
Death grip, exactly. And it's just, you could still keep your hand on there to see what the car is doing and make sure you can control it if something requires your attention. But it's nice that you don't have to do all of the work.
Yep, for sure. Let's see.
Just real quick.
Oh, it was Tesla Test Driver on Twitter who broke the record. Weighed like 100 pounds less.
Not a huge difference, yeah.
The Tesla recall was actually for the new refreshed Model S, as well as the few X, their airbag, driver airbag.
Yeah. So, exactly.
Yep. Jared said, anyone try Auto Park recently? So much better now. We actually haven't.
Yeah.
We've tried a few times.
We tried.
Oh, we did actually.
You remember?
It was a nightmare. I forgot about it.
We were in a parking lot. We tried it, and we were away from all other vehicles.
I think I saved the dash cam footage.
We should post that sometime. We were going to pick up food. What was that?
Tokyo Joe's.
Tokyo Joe's. And we were at the mall, and we tried it out, and there were no cars around us. And it pulled in like halfway into, like, was it on the line or something like that? And then it backed out and then it pulled a little bit and then it just gave up in the middle of the driving lane, in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It just gave up. And there were perfect lines right there, no cars around. It just gave up.
It was kind of funny.
We were surprised because we were so impressed a few days earlier by the full self-driving beta. And then we let's try the parking, and it just failed.
Yeah, when it finally showed up, we were like, okay, it just left us kind of.
And luckily there were no cars around us because they would have been upset because
they would have thought we were drunk.
It parked in the middle of the lane and just gave up.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
But we'll have to try it again because you've gotten an update since then. So maybe in the 10.4, maybe it's that much better.
Yeah. Let's see. Jennifer said it would be awesome for someone to make a round wheel with a clear center. It'd be like a combo of the two. Yes, but unfortunately, I don't know what we would do with the driver airbag.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Would it be cool to have a clear steering wheel? Like the handle is all clear.
I think that's what they meant. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you meant? Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
but like you're saying though, with the airbag, the way it's designed now, if you have to have a totally separate airbag, I think, because the one that's in there, it's got to be taking into account that you don't have the upper steering wheel. So it's you're not going to be, if you are in an accident, typically the steering wheel is still part of the crash protection.
Yep.
And so without that, if you start putting that in there, then if you try using an existing one, I'm sure that the airbag wouldn't inflate properly.
You know what though?
So you're going to need.
Sounds like a great time for us to test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. but anyways, if some other aftermarket company came up with one, I'm sure they would have to use a different airbag, such as what's in one of the other steering wheels.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, she did mean a clear center top. So that's what she was kind of referring
Yeah,
to.
but it's just like with the yoke, I don't think they can.
But like you could do that maybe with a Model Y.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like an acrylic handle. I'm into that.
I thought there was some company that like another EV that had that as a prototype. I don't remember. It was like Mercedes-Benz or something like that. But I saw something like that, or they also had like a light in there, so you could easily see that like their version of autopilot or whatever was enabled.
Yeah. John was wondering, what is Excel doing for people in Denver for charging cars at night? Any deals?
I don't think
so.
I haven't seen anything yet. I know that in I think in Minnesota, right, they have special deals, but I don't think there's anything here yet. They send me out like a survey every once in a while and ask about EVs, and they say, they're great, and they definitely want people to buy EVs because then they can sell more electricity, but I don't think they have any EV charging plans in Colorado yet. I'll check on that though.
Yep. Rick Sam said, when is the update coming in 2021.36.8 for certain Model 3s that you can now see Sentry mode in the phone directly? It's currently rolling out, but the issue is if you have Android, they haven't updated the app to be able to do that yet. If you have Apple, you can.
One thing we forgot to mention though is it does require premium connectivity or Wi-Fi, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So and I believe it works on Wi-Fi, or definitely with premium connectivity, it'll work anywhere that has signal. That's one thing we didn't answer earlier when somebody was asking about it, and maybe they were saying it wouldn't work. Could be they don't have premium connectivity.
Yep. Terry said Cadillac Super Cruise has the green lights in the steering wheel that you were talking about.
That's maybe one I was saying. Yep.
And John said, remember the test when you broke glass on the Model Y? That was a great one. And I was actually wearing my sweatpants the other day from that video. And I remember, because I had like the little tear, and I was like, oh, when did that happen? And I was like, the glass.
The glass shot through there. So, I don't know if we ever told anybody about that.
Well, I don't want to show you that high on my leg, but it actually like cut. Like, it didn't really damage the pants too much, but it actually cut through and cut my leg.
And that was just a piece of the tempered, the tempered glass.
Yeah.
It has that much energy,
The non-tempered. The one that blew up.
No, that's tempered. That's tempered.
That's tempered?
You're thinking laminated.
Oh, I'm thinking laminated.
So tempered is the one that will shatter like that, but it shoots with such energy that, it actually cut through his pants and cut his leg. Not
bad, but like...
That was a fun video, though.
It was
I like that one.
Yeah, it was very informative.
And because it shows how they've changed the windows.
Yep. Isaiah said, "Hey guys, got my Model S. Just thought I should update. Congrats. That's huge. Love it."
Just Isaac.
What did I say?
Isaac.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Fuzzbear said, "Have you seen the steering wheel of the Matra Muena?"
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
So no. Look it up really quick.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
And thanks to Warren Coulter, just sent a $2 super chat.
Oh, yep.
Let us know if you have any questions here. Well, I think we're probably gonna wrap it up soon though, because we're kind of caught up and see, but
the steering wheel of that.
Is that an old car?
Yeah, from 1983. Is that what we're talking about? Let me look at the steering wheel, and I'll drag it down for everybody to see.
What's it? Oh, that's.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It's like connected just on the bottom of the wheel.
Oh, wow. That's
and all this up top is empty.
Huh.
That's interesting. Wow.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I've never seen that. No, that's kind of cool. Warren, thanks again, though, for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. And Mark said, I've tried auto park 2 or 3 times and it was an epic fail. Excruciatingly slow and doesn't position well.
Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, we need to try it again.
Yeah, it's been a while, but hopefully it'll get better, and definitely would like to try it out.
Yep, definitely, Dan, shoot us an email and we will talk later. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. We're like 2 hours and 22 minutes in. Long live stream, but you guys had some amazing questions. The chat was great. Really appreciate everyone for kind of hanging out with us. And great questions tonight, too. Really do appreciate that.
We got stumped a couple times, but
I love being stumped, though.
Yeah.
That makes me think, and I love that.
But I like having answers, too. It's like, oh, that was 2016. That was...
Yeah, for sure. As always, though, if you haven't heard, our channel sponsor is Abstract Ocean. And they have all kinds of really cool accessories for Model SX3 and Y. Definitely check them out using code Tesla Inventory. It will save you 15% off of your first purchase. Some really cool stuff coming. Yep. And the Model S and X refresh screen protectors are What did he say? What did Pete say? Being
They're
test
in
fit?
final product testing or something.
Final
like
product testing.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I say that correctly. But yeah, as always though, definitely thumbs up if you enjoyed the live stream. Definitely make sure if you're subscribed too, because we do this or try to at least every week, normally Saturdays or Sundays, and it's kind of a good time to kind of go over the news and hang out with everybody. But yeah, wow. I think that's it. We will see you all next
Probably
weekend.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, there's something next week. I'm trying to. Oh no, it's in the day. And
We'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Should
we'll
be
see
good.
y'all. Bye.